Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Überfest 2024, live from Baystack in Dortmund. We've made it all the way to the grand finals, SKEDDA versus NOOBPANZER. Welcome to the analyst desk. I'm joined by Benpl, Stephen, and it's going to be Surny right on the end of the couch. Hello, boys.
Hello.
We have a three-man couch segment. How are you feeling about this final, SKEDDA versus NOOBPANZER?
It should be great, right? I think it's one of those. I'm especially excited because they haven't met in the bracket. They obviously played a one best of one, but it's not as if we've had spoilers for how this matchup's going to go. So obviously we can talk about hypotheticals, how they've played against other teams, but like, there's only that one map in the groups to go off. We're going into this almost blind.
Yeah, and Stephen?
A bit more concerned if I hadn't seen what I'd seen today. I was a bit worried SKEDDA got pushed down to that lower bracket. Maybe they're not performing how they should have. However, today they've looked good, and I think they've looked a lot more on form. That 5-0 on process in it was like 15 minutes against Pepis was dominant, and that's what we need to see to go against this NOOBPANZER side because they're strong.
Yeah, Indy and Surny, how are you feeling about the matchup overall?
Yeah, I think they need that. They've had all day to get warmed up. Their rear engines running already. Maybe, I doubt it will happen, but maybe fatigue could spell doom by the time we get to maybe a fifth map. NOOBPANZER, on the other hand, haven't had any time for that, right? They probably got in 2 hours ago. They were sleeping in, enjoying themselves some rest, I guess, which is also fair. But yeah, I don't know how warmed up they're going to be. I think that might actually play a role at some point in this match, perhaps at the first couple of maps. But I guess we'll see for now.
Speaking of which, we do have players ready to enter the stage. So I'm going to chuck it over to our boy Jakeowaty over on the stage.
Introducing currently undisputed top premiership team in the 40th season of TF2, the undefeated, the indestructible NOOBPANZER! Coming onto the stage for the third time, earning themselves their rightful spot in today's finals, the challengers to the Überfest throne, SKEDDA!
There they go, sitting down at their PCs. Look at those wonderful memory PCs and Be Quiet PCs. Look at them on display there, right at the front of the screen there. Wonderful, wonderful machines. Big shout-outs to Be Quiet and Memory PC for giving us these, making this entire event possible. We genuinely wouldn't have been able to do it without them, so thank you so much for those. And also, we do in fact have map picks and bans available to us, so we can see what maps are going to be coming up live on the stream. Here we go. Sultry is the first ban, followed up by a process ban, both from NOOBPANZER. Sunshine pick from SKEDDA, followed up by Snakewater. Any real surprises there, boys?
Bagel staying into the end is the big surprise for me. There's been plenty of opportunities to ban it out from SKEDDA. They must have. The only thing I can think of is that they've looked at that demo and they have found out everything that went wrong yesterday. Yeah. Because yesterday their Bagel was not good. So if this goes to a game 5 and it goes on to Bagel, they're going to have a big turnaround.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't get over to
Fantastic. We are now ready on the stage with eepily and wandum. We're going to chuck it over to them.
Thank you very much, Lucky, for the wonderful introduction here to the grand finals of Überfest 2024. We've made it all the way. How are we doing, eepily?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel like today's been a long day.
On land, we've seen a singular best of one. NOOBPANZER came out on top, and honestly, I felt like that SKEDDA that we saw in that map was a different SKEDDA to what we've seen so far today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like there's big differences. You know, what a difference a day makes. That is what they say. But I guess we're going to find out pretty soon because this is it, our grand finals here at Überfest 2024, SKEDDA versus NOOBPANZER, starting up here on Sunshine.
Joe rolling out through Valley, Lucas mirroring him as well. So both sides taking up on the enemy Tetras here. Spamming stickies across. Early damage onto Mac, and now the bombs are coming through. Trying to land onto him, but Gazi taken down first. Af soon to follow, but Ryan is in behind. Doesn't quite manage to find much of anything. Instead now, it's 2 players down here for NOOBPANZER. Pickles desperately low. And Joe taken down. Rocket out of Ryan. Does find one. It's in onto Mac, and does not connect the air shots.
No, just about not. We do still see Boxing in, getting such an important frag towards Lucas. Oh my days, Jordy's so healthy. Look at these arrows coming in. That's actually kind of huge.
Jordy absolutely carrying his team on his back on that mid fight. Crucial rockets to keep his team in the game now. Does end up falling as the recommit comes in for NOOBPANZER. Both teams 100% advantage, but there's no position on the middle for SKEDDA.
Yeah, absolutely not. This is going to be just a little moment here. Very, very hard fought mid, but NOOBPANZER will seize control out of that. You can see Boxy already wanting to peek a little bit, go forward, take some of this position, see if they can maybe get a soldier or someone aggressive, but for the second, we'll just be happy with the info.
For now, Puck choosing to go through Cafe as they send in Ryan with a bomb. Try to get onto Mac, does not find much of any damage at all. Now it's a pick to work with here. For SKEDDA, we'll have to see what they're willing to do. It is Warp shaping up. Try and bomb through choke here. Medics in on Valley in the meantime. He's just going to Warp, bomb in behind there as they combine, find a kill onto Puck, but Warp taken down as well. Traded out instantly by Voxy.
Oh, but there's space being taken on choke. You can see how aggressive App is getting, actually almost chasing some of these players all the way back, but just a little bit aggressive here. Ubers do get used. That is Mac using his first, so it is going to be slightly better on the side of NOOBPANZER, but the flashes are coming in, so it's going to be very, very close to being equal. You can see this post-Uber fight. SKEDDA really trying to do everything they can to take some position. They're not fantastic in terms of health, and you can see so much high ground in the hands of Puck, and these are huge rockets. They have no choice but to leave.
The spam out of Hugo is so big, and unfortunately for that, SKEDDA forced to walk out. Now NOOBPANZER squarely in control of this mid. Even Uber's between the 2 medics, so I don't think we'll see much of anything. Maybe some kind of sack play for NOOBPANZER in the cards here as they look to further extend this 10% advantage we have at the moment. You see both scouts building up is AF.
Yeah, I feel like just for the minute, maybe they will just take a little bit of a breather. Ryan does seem to really want to get this buff, though. I feel like whenever you see a soldier get a full 300, you're expecting, like, something's going to happen. Yeah, there we go. Jump on in is actually curving towards the right-hand side. Maybe it's just a little bit of a fake because it's Puck towards his left-hand side, going in for a little bit more spam, though. Ryan with the recommit isn't going to be finding anything, though. Ultimately, that is going to be a safe little Mac. They're going to be backing up all the way. A little bit of aggression now for the side of SKEDDA, but actually, Jordy just goes way too far. Gazi!
Riding that rocket perfectly out of Cafe and manages to escape with his life. Now, both teams trading one soldier on the flank. Menex wants to just go in on this scout. Does a lot of damage, but somehow in the meantime, Hugo has collapsed in onto AF, and it's both scouts. A soldier down for SKEDDA as well. They bleed players and then back onto their last.
Yeah, they tried to do everything, you know. It's like you're so focused on trying to find an opportunity that you just go way too far, and then before you know it, you're stuck onto your own last, because it's too risky to make those kind of moves on second and then commit to staying. You have no choice but to back up. So now, SKEDDA's going to find themselves on their own last. We do have a Menex sniper, which is going to keep things a little bit easier. Stickies will be taking down Ryan, and obviously Menex has been spotted now, so they can see if they want to move forward just a little bit. There is still a soldier in lobby. Oh, the headshot, not quite enough damage, but maybe, just maybe, is this something they can work with?
Health bars decently low here for NOOBPANZER, but SKEDDA choosing to back out instead. Unable to sort of break that hold. There's a nice opening headshot from Menex, but he's just swapping off once again. Surprise factor of the sniper gone, and it means that he's back on to pyro duty here. NOOBPANZER's turn to respond. You can see them already building up towards the top right. Early damage from the stickies. To the soldier peeking across. Not falling. Instead is Puck trying to go in here. It does shoot a very long-range rocket, not quite connecting. It is one soldier falling. Early point pressure from Gazi, who just escaped with his life. Singular soldier sack. And NOOBPANZER are right back out.
Yeah, I feel like it is important to note right now, obviously, SKEDDA's not going to be overly aggressive. They are defending their own last. However, NOOBPANZER right now, they are the team being far more active. They're the ones trying to get something done. Obviously, it is just much less risky for them. They can afford to be in that situation. However, they are getting a bit more aggressive. Oh, my days. Gazi's back up with his favorite little weapon there.
Up on the Huntsman. It was a little bit effective last night. We did see him run it up against Pepper's Pizza Party. Not the most effective, to be completely honest. It was decent. We'll have to see if he can make it work now. Peeking over towards right side as he's charging up the shot.
All right. It's been spotted. We're aware of it now. I feel like, you know, I mean, in fairness, what are SKEDDA going to do? How are they going to play around the Huntsman? Do you do that? Oh my God!
It's a one-shot onto the Pyro there. The bow comes out, 120 now, as Lucas falls dangerously low here. NOOBPANZER, though, they lose their Gazi, and that means they probably can't commit that much. It's one Pyro down, and Puck now eyeing himself a bit of a sack in. Ryan, a bit more forwards, now Sentry Gun down. This is a big opportunity to try and get in onto Mac. The bomb comes forward, and Mac falls up into the air, but he does not pop.
That is so impressive from Mac there. Somehow only took about 60 damage in total, even though both soldiers were basically right on top of him. That is an absolutely huge hold for SKEDDA.
SKEDDA holding on there. They saw the bomb coming, but it's still so dangerous. No Sentry to hold off the bombs. Fortunately for them, Ryan, Puck unable to quite find their marks as Mac lives to tell the tale. Even Uber still. Medics now back on the sniper. Able to find a shot earlier, but the bomb is coming through. It's a decent rocket there to deny for now, but he is just going to back off.
Yeah, there's no real need to rush anything. We will be seeing Menix go back to the Pyro. I feel like that whole Sentry Pyro little combo is very, very important. Puck, once again, is trying to go towards the left-hand side. Both soldiers are going to be getting pretty aggressive here, not quite wanting to commit too much, and there's just not a great deal they can do yet. Once again, Puck and Ryan, they're going to try everything they can, but it is so difficult to try and take all of that space. When you have a Pyro defending the gun and the gun defending from everything else, you know, there's so much work because you can't even spam in the same way. It is really, really difficult. You need to find some kind of pick or some kind of opportunity where they're just not fully paying attention. But at the same time, there's no downside for NOOBPANZER. They can send in both the soldiers, and what's SKEDDA going to do? They're going to push?
Maddox just up on the spy. Spy checking, making sure no funny business going on. She'll just stand back where we started. As you say, how do you break this last hold from SKEDDA? So far immune from the bombs out of Puck and Ryan, unable to find their marks now. Instead, they're just trying a more brute force method, and it just does not work either. 2 kills coming across, 1 for Lucas and 1 for Warp. We're back where we started. The round timer now 60 seconds, and SKEDDA seem entirely disinterested in pushing this out.
Yeah, they do not care at all. And I feel like on the side of NOOBPANZER, they basically have a little flowchart, right? We send in 1, that's not enough, all right, so we'll send in 2. That time, basically, I believe the intention was to have both their soldiers basically, you know, go in and die. So they were like, basically, let's try 3. I mean, they could try 4. Oh my God, Gazi.
Gazi fancies himself enough class, and he's on the family business.
That's a
which
weapon.
I think is just an objectively worse shotgun. We're in onto last hairs and Uber onto Boxy, just trying to go for the trade. Only 30 seconds left, but the counter Uber comes out of Mac. No kills found so far, but the heavy comes in now, providing a lot of extra damage here for NOOBPANZER as they manage to spam down the gun. Now, can you take any ground? It's a demo fight on the top side, but it's Joe that's falling. Without that demo, it becomes so much harder to sticky up the point. Ryan is cleaned up, so is Puck, and now no soldiers. There's 1 scout onto the point, Boxy taken care of. And I think that is SKEDDA holding on for 5 minutes straight. They will be taking us back to middle once this timer runs out.
There we go. First round is over. About 9 minutes or so. And I feel like anyone who is expecting this best of 5 tonight to be over quickly, yeah, get yourself comfortable, guys. We're going to be here for a while.
Slow games so far of what we've seen. It was the same story in the regular season games where these maps carried on forever. We are going back onto mid here. Neither team finding success in the first little set of round there. Resetting now. It's still 0-0. Once again, Lucas choosing to walk over towards Sunshine and is spamming stickies across, not finding much damage quite yet. It's an early tag here. Does not find anything.
No, not just yet. We do just see a little bit of movement around. No one going for that big, heavy commit. We do actually have a soldier on the back lines. That is Ryan. Kind of just trying to play a little bit away. Maybe this is an opportunity for the side of SKEDDA to try and walk forward. It is a little bit difficult. Ryan's going in now. 1 rocket, 2. Not quite enough to take out Mac there, but they're so weak on the side of SKEDDA. This is absolutely terrifying. The huge rockets from Geordie absolutely annihilates Pickles. They need to regroup. They need to breathe. And you can see they're playing all the way towards the cafe. Puck's in from behind, but he doesn't get it. Uber gets forced.
Uber gets forced, and it's such a lifeline here for NOOBPANZER, getting in that soldier at the very end, because otherwise, that is such a scary position for NOOBPANZER. The bomb from Geordie is beautiful. Rocket to follow onto Pickles, and there's just no response there. You don't have Uber in time.
No.
Now SKEDDA. Reverse situation. Slight advantage here for SKEDDA, about 30%. We'll have to see if they're willing to push that aggressively, but you can see NOOBPANZER looking to try and take the fight, but an early sticky kill for onto Boxy.
Yeah, you can see exactly the thinking of NOOBPANZER right there. They're like, okay, maybe we're going to peek, we're going to prod, we're going to see what's happening on second. The second they lose one player, absolutely not, we're gone.
SKEDDA now, they have a pick to work with, an Uber advantage as well. Should they have been counting effectively, that means now they might just be looking to dot push it instantly. Have to be fast. Still 30%, and it's Lucas. He's getting flashed in onto a heavy. Just has to be shot down. Lots of damage onto him. Does fall now. The other side tries to come forwards. Pirate does a decent job shooting away the stickies as Av falls early here as well. Menex cleaned up. Decent damage. 3 apiece for both sides, but the Uber arrows are coming out onto both sides. Warp trying desperately to fall, but instead Mac, he falls down on the point. Lucas dies as well, and Ryan with 2 cleaning up in the end. NOOBPANZER hold on.
Oh, what a clutch little hold there. I really thought that could have been such a good opportunity there, but not quite. NOOBPANZER, their holds are just a little bit too strong. I do want to shout out such important kind of zoning stickies, getting that heavy stuck towards that right-hand side so he can't just quick switch and spawn. It makes all the difference, these little tiny micro things, but yeah, not quite enough. We do see the Menex defensive sniper is looking towards these choke points, but Uber gets used. They're playing completely safe here. Actually, that's Joe going down there. That's a little bit concerning.
Joe falling in the very early stages of that fight. Such a nice pickup there by Warp, sacrificing his life for it, and now it's kind of crumbling a bit at the seams here for NOOBPANZER, trying to get something out of this fight. Luke is down to a singular sliver of HP, but does not fall, and now Piggles has to run away. Mac has a big advantage here to work with as well, and this looks like SKEDDA have another shot at a round.
Yeah, this is absolutely enormous. Their second is going to be completely for free. You can see Af playing methodical. He's checking every corner. He doesn't want any funny business whatsoever. They should be able to check these stickies on point. I believe, yeah, they're going to be dealt with, and you can see they're already moving towards lower, leaving second with their 1 scout. They do know they have just a bit of an advantage, but they can't wait around too long. 50% already in the hands of Piggles. If there's a go time, it's got to be right now. They can't really afford to wait around playing buffs. If they want to go, are they just going to throw this away?
Lucas now setting up his sticky trap, but it's 100% hit for Piggles.
Okay.
Hesitated for too long, now instead choosing to peek just instead, spotting out the heavy, and they know there's an Uber on the enemy side, not willing to push instead. Just going to be seeing if they have an answer to this Sunshine last hold. NOOBPANZER are able to break their own.
There we go. All right, right back in. Hopefully everything has been resolved there. We can keep things moving on. Nice.
Even Ubers still don't let the HUD lie to you. This is 2 medics with a 100% Uber charge each. The Pyro is up for Boxy here, looking to deny any potential projectile spam, as we are seeing a move over towards this right side area of NOOBPANZER's last. Geordie does manage to make his way forward, but Warp is just in, does not win the 1v1, and Ryan, crisp clean rocket there. Geordie forced to just bomb out 100 HP, and he does escape.
Yeah, that's actually really nicely done. I didn't expect he'd be able to survive there. And it's actually really interesting seeing the exact opposite of what we just had a moment ago. SKEDDA is now the team which can be aggressive. They don't have to worry about losing a player or two just because of how Sunshine works. It is going to be difficult for them, but I like the idea of, you know, it's kind of the exact opposite situation. So we get to see, okay, what have they planned out? Because we have heard that this SKEDDA team, they have been doing a little bit of their homework between last night and today. So I kind of want to see if they've come up with any interesting new ideas.
The loss to Pepper's Pizza Party, a bit of a wake-up call for SKEDDA, coming back looking so clean against them earlier today, not skipping a beat. It was a slow last map on a sultry, but they managed to convert it in that golden cap. So now, once again, it's Jordy just taking a buff, and I think it is Menex up onto the sniper. We'll have to see where he wants to peek from. There's a lot of red members right around that corner. It's an early body shot. 135 damage onto the soldier, trying to peek forwards here. Dispenser right around the corner, but there's also just a sentry there. Does not connect the shots onto the Pyro, instead rotating over to right side.
Yeah, this is going to be just trying a new angle, you know, take 1 shot, take 2 shots, you know, just kind of see what's going on. Always want to keep them guessing a little bit, staying hard scope to make sure they can ensure as much damage as possible. Oh, not quite connecting that shot, maybe. Just goes
it's a bomb in.
It's walked all the way in. What a surf from Piggles.
Piggles surfing in. There's a follow-up bomb from Geordie trying to find that long-range rocket. Menex now cleaned up. It's 3 down for SKEDDA, and they have to back all the way back into Enemy Cafe, not wanting to hold on to second. And this is NOOBPANZER with a big break, and I think crucially as well, it's a reset of the round timer.
Yeah, absolutely. That is such an important moment, getting those 3 frags all together, and just the fact that we had players like Puck so quick, ready to move forward on the side of NOOBPANZER. That is what allowed them to get control of second, whereas we didn't see SKEDDA doing that the other way around. So now they've bought themselves a little bit of a safety net. They are on second. They have that opportunity to go a little bit more aggressive. They actually get that frag on Jordy, and maybe they can keep on going. Ryan wants more for sure, but just a little bit overstaying his welcome. I feel like a little bit over-aggressive.
Just trading roamers here. In the meantime, still even Ubers for both sides. Neither team popped it in that exchange on last. Instead, it's Lucas getting really aggressive and getting shot at a lot here. Does just get bowed by Mac and manages to live. He's playing this so aggressively here in the enemy flowers.
He really, really is. You can see just desperately trying to deal some damage, but actually taking so much of his own, kind of has to get permanently beamed, and it's warped. You gets caught all the way towards the choke point. Jordy's actually a little bit weak as well. They need to take a second to buff up. This is a great opportunity if NOOBPANZER do want to try and do something. The soldier is getting aggressive. Nice little sink jump there. You can see all the way towards his valley side. Gazzy's trying to go in. What a great little two-shot. He looks like he's just about going to spike, but not quite. The stickies from Lucas will clean him up, but more frags to the good. That is 3 down on the side of SKEDDA. They have to leave. What a pipe! Oh my days!
Lucas, unfortunately not every time there's justice in this world, hits the beautiful air pipe onto Ryan, but he just lives to tell the tale. Now instead, NOOBPANZER find themselves with a kill onto a demo man super late into that fight. The Ubers were never popped once again, but there's just no position here for SKEDDA, and they find themselves forced back onto their own last.
Yep, there is a little bit of a safety net. I believe both teams do have 100% Uber, so you don't have to be too worried about anything. They do have that they can use at any point, but this is a little bit of a... it isn't a quick one, but it is technically a coast-to-coast on the side of NOOBPANZER. But, I mean, this is the age-old question. One, like, how do you get in and actually get something done on Sunshine Last?
It's a soldier bombing in, a second one coming in from lower here. 1 pipe kill onto Aff is all that they find. They trade soldiers across, and now 2 soldiers down for both sides. We trade kills across. No team really looking to trade here. NOOBPANZER, honestly, so far pretty impressively managing to convert on them, but Joe!
That was perfect.
Let me make my point.
That was perfect from Warped. Literally, he landed at the exact right time, just as Joe went around the corner, denied any kind of jump or anything like that, and just completely just sent him into the floor dimension. The only saving grace, I gotta say, is that they didn't end up kind of panic using on the side of NOOBPANZER. Otherwise, that could have been a disaster. So, yeah, I feel like they're reacting the right kind of way, but a little bit disappointing there.
It's NOOBPANZER having crawled all the way back from their own last, just off of aggression and sacks from SKEDDA that just don't quite end up working in their favor. NOOBPANZER countering them super, super well. Managed to ride it all the way back. No Ubers popped. And they're knocking on the enemy last door here now. Joe is back in, and this time he's able to sticky across. On once again, it's Pug in through lower, gets 1 nice rocket here onto Mac, is able to reload for a second. Ryan goes in, and they get this force. This is suddenly really bad here for SKEDDA.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge, and you can see how quick these spawns are going to be coming in on the side of NOOBPANZER. SKEDDA knows they have no choice but to try and heal up, get as many, I don't know, defensive positions set up, because they're going to be staring down the barrel of a full Uber disadvantage. App did just go a little bit aggressive just for a second to see anyone maybe just overstaying their welcome, but no, NOOBPANZER's too good for that. They know exactly their plan, so yeah, App should be playing all the way back towards this spawn door, at least if nothing, ensuring the Uber does get used if they go towards this top left position, and it looks like that is exactly where they will be going.
Uber popped in straight onto Joe, who does get shot back a little bit by the sniper. Sentry gun instantly taken down, and now it's a bit of height control here for NOOBPANZER. 1 kill onto Gazzy is found, though, from Jordy. Lucas falling, as now the kills are being traded across, but his Piggles taken down by a bomb. And now Menex looking to chase this onto Ryan as well, as Voxy, he's found a bit of an angle in below, but there's players back on last. So he's just choosing to back off. In the end, it's a trade coming across. Piggles falls, and Mac, he has 100% advantage here.
This is so, so good for SKEDDA. I really was a little bit worried then, but actually their reactions are absolutely perfect. We do see App kind of a little bit being hung out to dry by the rest of his team. I'm not quite sure why SKEDDA is quite so slow here. They are just about getting through this checkpoint. Gazzy did get overly aggressive. Ryan's bomb does secure. The Uber does get used here, so he's trying to find anyone. They're so far away. No one really to connect with, so that Uber is going to get used for the sake of getting second now. Gazzy and Ryan will be up in just a couple seconds. Their spawners being a little bit further back opens the opportunity. SKEDDA wants to try and fight mid, and it looks like they kind of want to, but can they commit?
So far, not successful. Instead, choosing just to back out instead. There's a little bit of a window where, yes, there's no Uber on either side, but they have 2 picks to work with now. However, they are just respawning. Not getting that point captured early meant that the respawners came in mighty fast here. Puck, using a bit of a long-range pipe as he bombs back forward here. Damage, and now that's just Joe getting caught out by Lucas.
Yeah, that does open up an opportunity. I feel like SKEDDA are giving a lot of respect there. It is very difficult to kind of repush that, especially when they did have the Uber disadvantage. So I do think ultimately it is a safest play to do exactly what they did. They got that 1 frag, and that secured that any Uber disadvantage they had basically didn't matter. We do see Ryan trying to skip in, but you know what? You can't skip jump through a human being.
Fortunately, being, what is that called? Permutation? Object permutation?
Permanence?
Not permanent?
I don't know.
No, that's different. Object permanence when you close your eyes.
Oh, yeah.
This is different when you want to like phase through objects. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We are still just on Sunshine last, but we have spent most of this map. 22 minutes so far has passed, and no singular team has been able to break this last hold successfully.
Ah, Sunshine.
Been sacking in soldiers every now and then, but like these double soldier sacks have never really managed to find their mark. It's one force onto max successfully, but unable to convert the round. Where NOOBPANZER now, they're just back. 1 scout sitting close, and his Puck getting early position here, bombing in once again. Ryan forward as well, repositioning onto the point area, but unable to bomb forward. This sentry gun and pyro combo so difficult to deal with. The rocket there from Ryan onto Jordy shuts him down. But we sack in 2 players. Once again, not finding much singular kill. I mean, SKEDDA will stay back.
Yeah, this is one of the great difficulties. One of the biggest philosophical questions of our time is how do you actually get a force on Sunshine last? How do you actually convert this? And I'll be honest, I don't 100% have the answer.
Neither do NOOBPANZER, neither do SKEDDA, either of them. Unable to connect now. Just 7.5 minutes left on the clock here. Gazzy eyeing up lower for now, just testing, seeing where anyone might be. These off classes proving very, very strong. With spam out of Lucas here as well. Excellent job at keeping away Joe, who has to just sit in this wall of punishment here from the enemy demo. It's a sack in once again from Ryan. And unfortunately, that sentry gun is just too strong.
It is, and I feel like it's a combination of the spam as well. Like you say, I feel like, you know, there's such a coordinated approach towards spam that SKEDDA has. Like, they are aware of every single doorway. They're focusing spam. It isn't just like, you know, one guy shooting rockets or just a couple of stickies or a sticky trap. You know, the second anyone starts picking a doorway, you're getting all this spam onto them. So by the time they go in, they've taken like 150. I feel like that's something which people sometimes underestimate. Just having really coordinated spam can basically be enough of a deterrent. You know, it can almost be kind of better than, you know, having an entire player there.
Spamming, still we are. Puck once again bombing in onto this right side. Early damage onto a soldier. He's doing a lot of work actually, but the rockets from Jordy send Puck all the way back home.
Yeah, Jordy kind of wants more as well. Almost wanted to chase just a little bit, but no, not gonna happen there. Has to just back up, get some ammo, get some health. I'm gonna be real one. This is 1 minute 58 left on the round timer. Are we gonna keep looking at maps for a little bit now?
Probably, to be honest. SKEDDA showing no signs of ever wanting to push out, and it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Why would you risk pushing out onto second, pushing out onto middle, checking for hiders, making sure no one bombs in and forces your medic, when you instead can wait 2 minutes and get a free trek to middle and just take the mid fight?
Yeah, no, 100%. I do think it makes a lot of sense. Gazzy once again on the huntsman. He really wants to make it work. He is making it so difficult for these players. Oh, not quite this time. Not quite. All right, on the cheeky little rotate. What else can we get from this left-hand side?
Zooming in, but those are a lot of stickies in his face. Lucas, once again, doing such a good job of denying this right side area. So much damage dealt. And Gazzy, he simply cannot approach. Boxy has gotten forwards, and this should be a little bit of space for Gazzy, but the soldier bomb as well comes in, denies him completely. Boxy now taking quite low. A nice rocket from Jordy once again. Coming in hot here as Gazzy rotating over. Arrow comes out. Here onto the engineer now. Not the end of the world here for SKEDDA, but it is a pick to work with. 50 seconds left on the round timer. Means NOOBPANZER will be looking to go forward soon. Instead, Jordy comes in. Massive rockets. Joe drops down very low, but Pickles holds on to the overcharge. NOOBPANZER licking their wounds for now, but still staying within lobby. And I think with 30 seconds left, a pick onto Jordy, they'll just be looking to take in this trade here.
Yeah, really, really nice rocket there from Puck. They do still need to try and spam this gun. It's so annoying. It's actually Ryan who's going to be losing his life before the sentry even manages to go down. You can see once again, NOOBPANZER, they kind of have to back up. It's 16 seconds left on the clock. There's no downside to them pushing right now. It is just time to go in. Ubers do look like they're going to get traded here. We do see it be reasonably equal. We can see Medics actually completely disconnecting Pickles here right now. This is not what you want at all. Pickles will eventually look like he's actually managing to survive.
And it's just no one on the point. It was looking kind of good. I think, honestly, give them a bit of extra time. They might make it work. But that Pyro, it's like a pudge hook. Takes him onto mid, completely into the enemy team. And there's nothing Pickles can do.
No, I don't actually know how he managed to stay alive. Like, literally just the native kind of, you know, healing just from being a medic. Managing to somehow counteract these flames, but a little bit bizarre. Disgusting. Sorry, disgusting.
Back onto middle we go. Joe, nice little edge bug there.
Why not? Just for show.
Yeah, just showing off. Lucas very far forwards and aggressive onto this middle. Trying to rain down damage onto the opponent team. Not finding much for now. It's Puck with a super high bomb. The collapse coming in, and it's a super early kill onto Mac. 2 falling on the side of NOOBPANZER as they lose a lot of their members. Pickles, most of his health to follow as well. But 3 up for SKEDDA, maintaining control at this point, losing their medic, and it is 90. Make it almost 100% advantage here for Pickles.
Yeah, we do see Joe looking towards his choke point. Is very, very healthy, just kind of seeing where these players are, seeing where they're positioned, because ultimately right now NOOBPANZER, they're going to want to try and retake control of mid as quickly as they can, maybe potentially before some of these SKEDDA these SKEDDA spawners, just trying to spam forward. You can see where Max playing. He has to play pretty far back. They are just surging all the way forward. Uber does get used. A good little bit of damage, but it's actually Joe that goes down. Boxy wants to try and go for more. 1 frag, not quite connecting. That second's actually going to be losing his own life.
This is disaster here. NOOBPANZER are falling all over the place. Menex in a 1v1 with Gazzy there. Doesn't win it, but Gazzy forced to flee with his tail behind his legs. Pickles cannot find the sword. Jordy taking the 1v1 and winning. Now Gazzy wants to run in. Doesn't find anything. Menex with the rest of his team. Ginormous advantage here for SKEDDA. Yeah, this is absolutely huge. They have everything they could possibly want. Roxy already on that defensive engineer. And right now SKEDDA, they're just going to be playing together. They're going to be getting this Uber charge. Look, Pickles is just only spawned in all of this. Even now, he has to try and buff everyone, get everyone into position. Gazzy's just only coming up now as well. If SKEDDA gets in nice and quick, this full setup should not be there. Have to go in now. You can see, you know exactly where Lucas wants this Uber. Gazzy is up onto the sniper. Bo finds nothing. The Pyro comes out instead. His sentry gun taken down by the soldiers spam. Coming across from a warp now. Heavy is up. No position has really been gained. No kills have been found here. And it's just warp shut down in the sky. Point is half cap. It's a kill onto Joe actually early on. The scouts of Af is making things happen, making things work. This Heavy is so low. Manex, Af combining. So much damage coming across. SKEDDA with a minute and a half to go. Managed to finally convert a round. Oh my god. That is actually incredible for SKEDDA. I honestly thought they didn't stand any chance. Those off classes on the side of NOOBPANZER, they were so good, zoning all these players out and not allowing them anywhere in. And then out of nowhere, that was just 3 sudden frags. Wild. It looked kind of bad there for SKEDDA, to be honest. The post-Uber looking good, but then Af just finding those 2 crucial kills is all that they need. Now back onto middle we go. NOOBPANZER, minute to respond. They cannot slow down. Have 1 button to press and it is W. Soldiers bombing in from SKEDDA. They know they can just play this passively, but an early kill into Warped means that they will just retreat right back out. They're giving NOOBPANZER a bit of space, hoping to reconcile it backwards, take this to an even Uber situation where they could just trade an Uber, and instead now Gazzy pushing in through Cafe.
Oh, they're on low ground.
They
they're
want
on
to
low
collapse.
ground. This is really dodgy for SKEDDA. They do manage to get that 1 frag, but they are still playing towards this low ground. It's actually going to be NOOBPANZER all the way towards his height. Foxy is going super weak, not quite combining towards these frags.
They're just not finding it, just barely. Lucas is pelting them in Cafe. Uber now coming out, but it's 10 seconds left on the clock. You haven't found much. It's Voxy getting a consolation prize here onto Warp. A puck falling in the meantime. Ryan does manage to find the kill onto Mac. It's a bit of cap time here on the second, but the round timer just runs out. SKEDDA's up 1-0.
That is absolutely wild. What a huge, huge win for SKEDDA there. Yeah, That's incredible. And I mean, the crowd's feeling it.
What a slow map. And ultimately, it comes down to the team with the singular successful last push. You just needed one to win. So many failed. But in the end, they just about managed to get it there. SKEDDA coming up 1-0 after climbing their way through that lower bracket.
God, what a genuine war of attrition. I mean, I feel like it tells you a lot about Sunshine as a map, but also these teams, you know? I feel like there's been so many... I don't know, when we saw them earlier in the tournament, they didn't feel anywhere near this equal, and now it really does feel like the whole unstoppable force, immovable object thing, right? You know, they're so close in so many of these situations. The second, you know, one team gets a little bit of advantage, it seems to come right back, and then, like you say, it just comes down to, you know, maybe one little mistake or one little extra play on the side of things, and suddenly, you know, that's the only bit that matters.
Going into Snakewater now will be our map number 2. Have to see what they do now. Snakewater, another map with potential to be very, very slow.
Yeah.
Another map with a really difficult last to push. I would not say it is as hard as Sunshine, but still very difficult. NOOBPANZER looking to bounce back. I think we'll be going to a quick little break. Do not go too far, though, because when we come back, we have map number 2. Welcome back to Überfest 2024. Good. Getting thumbs up as well.
Hey, there we go. There's the thumbs up.
That means that we should be good to go any second. There's words still exchanging chat, of course. We are fighting for that trophy right in front of you. Both teams looking to claim it alongside the LAN victory here. You saw that matchup during the TF2 regular season ended in a tie. Very, very close to games, both of them going to a golden cap.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like, you know, if we ignore some of the actions of yesterday, everything we've seen from them has been incredibly back and forth. Like you say, that first map, it was incredibly close. Both teams having similar kind of issues in terms of trying to achieve what they wanted. SKEDDA did eventually take it away. But I wonder whether maybe this is a little bit of a wake-up call on the side of NOOBPANZER. Do not underestimate anyone. And here we go, back in. This is map 2 of our grand finals here at Überfest 2024. SKEDDA rolling out nice and quick here with Lucas. They're going to be looking to try and solidify a bit more of a lead in this best of 5.
Lucas, early damage there on to Joe. Just taking a second to regroup our NOOBPANZERs. Neither team willing to make the first move here just yet. Feeling each other out. Both soldiers sitting back. We're going to wait for the high bombs to be initiated. You can see Warped, and you know exactly where he's looking to bomb now. Height taken early by Ryan, but he eats a rocket to the face there, shot upwards. And now NOOBPANZER dropping back a little bit. Their health is not looking that good. Puck eating one rocket, but Ryan managed to maneuver himself in behind, but just gets taken down by Jordy. This is now singular pick advantage. Menex shot back as well, but no position left. And NOOBPANZER lose the mid as SKEDDA win the war of attrition.
Yeah, absolutely. This was exactly what you said. This came down to high ground and positioning on the side of SKEDDA. Even though only one frag was exchanged, it's all about taking that position. The second you're there, there's no choice but for NOOBPANZER to basically back away. We do see Jordy go for a very, very optimistic little jump in, but Voxy had his number.
Unable to connect the rocket there on to Piggles, who lives. Even Ubers for both sides, just Joe putting up some stickies in choke. Let's see, it is now Jordy coming up. Wonder if a door is open. Yes, it is. Menex is up on that sniper. I'm going to be honest, deeply. For my money, I think Menex might just be my MVP of the tournament. He's been so impressive all the way through. And this sniper as well is such a big reason why. So lethal. Do not give him the respect it deserves. Now, right now, peeking in through window. Just kind of waiting. As it's a kill, we come back. Lucas dies to stickies.
Oh, this is so scary. That's actually more players getting traded out. This is a little bit worrying if you're on the side of SKEDDA, especially with the sniper as well. They can't really take an extended fight unless some kind of key headshot comes out. And you can see they have no choice but to back up. Ubers are getting exchanged. Jordy wants to go for more, getting all the way towards Joe, not quite connecting the rockets. Actually, he's going to be going down to this little roller. This is really, really scary on the side of SKEDDA. They surely can't be fighting this mid too hard right now. I feel like Menex really needs to connect something. But like you say, Lucas is getting so much damage.
The sniper now falls as well, so the sort of backline scariness of SKEDDA is fading a little bit, but they're still relying so heavily here on the damage out of Lucas, and it is just working. Finding a pipe onto Voxy, another kill onto Puck as well as Gazzy gets a bit too far forwards. He's shut down from a bomb out of Jordy, and I think SKEDDA very much coming to life here. Jordy fancies himself a bit of pork for dinner, unable to get forwards. Instead, he jumps right back, just takes the pack. Let's Piggles back all the way out to last.
Yeah, that is such a turnaround there from the side of SKEDDA. They're actually moving towards his right-hand side already. They do have a very, very tiny little advantage. Are they going to try and play off it? They really want to, but Jordy and App will be losing their lives. Okay, that's going to be calling a massive cancel to this. Both teams will be getting Uber in just a second. That is Uber already in the hands of Mac. Not quite. In the hands of Piggles. Gazzy getting aggressive on the sniper. Some kind of hero shot. Maybe. Oh, just about missing there. Maybe hands are a little bit cold. Maybe not fully warmed up. Maybe he's starting to feel the pressure right now.
Unable to connect that shot. Also, Sticky's right around that corner as well, meaning that if he peeks any further, it becomes really difficult to make something work. Now both teams, spies up in spawn, checking, making sure no funny business, which means that this sniper out of Menix should have been spotted. Jordy as well. We'll see. The enemy is up to spot the engineer. Now it is up to Menix to try and dissect this lost hold. The sentry gun on Snakewater last is so difficult to break when it is placed properly now. NOOBPANZER back. It's a sniper duel effectively here. Is neither side really going to be looking at the other?
No, this is just a little bit of patient play. You can see Lucas trying to just move these stickies away from above that doorway, detonating his own in the air just to knock them back, get that little bit of movement, and that is one rocket. Does go the way of Menix, so I believe they probably should be aware of this. In fairness, if you don't expect Menix to be on sniper at this point, I don't think you've really been paying attention to this series. So yeah, no one's going to be too surprised on that one. Now, looking towards his left-hand side, you know, sometimes you can get like a little demo overextending or something like that, but see Joe positioned so far around this corner, and yeah, like you say, I feel like Gazzy is fully aware of this. Maybe just towards Shutter.
Rotates over. There's not a medic where he might expect to find one, usually holding onto that dispenser instead. It's 150 damage dealt onto the Demo Man, not traded across, as an early arrow there from Piggles keeps his Demo alive. Menix now still on the prowl, wants to get this shot. It's Gazzy waiting for him right around the corner, unable to hit anything is either sniper now. It is this Demo. Ooh. Joe plays with fire, but comes out on top.
Just about there, and that frag is very, very important. It opens up a little bit of an opportunity here. Maybe Gazzy wants to start looking towards the lobby, which he does exactly that. You can see how far back Mac is, though. Probably behind about 7 different props there, so not a great deal of a chance they're going to have there. Oh, there we go. Little body shot. Going to be finishing up Jordy and almost potentially hitting something else. So once again, this is NOOBPANZER a little bit in the driver's seat. They're not going to commit to anything too heavily, but they do just have a chance to peek.
It is just the same situation we saw in Sunshine, where why would you ever pick forward? You have these two off classes. It doesn't really make sense to take a Voxy off of the engineer, remove that level 3, the dispenser, everything you have set up on last. Gazzy up on the sniper as well, removes so much momentum now. Back in spawn, just making sure no other funny business happening for now. Rotate your disguise kit, check to see if any off classes are up on the enemy team.
Yeah, and as well as having the spy checking, they'll also have their eyes, which will have spotted Menix once again on the old sniper class. So, you know, didn't quite work out last time, but there's a couple key shots which, if Menix had just been slightly higher, you know, it could have been oh so crucial. Now that is 1 minute 50 seconds left on the round timer, so looks like things may end up going a similar way to Sunshine, but not if Menix can have anything to do with it. Looking towards his right-hand side, basically going to be a little bit of a sniper 1v1. You can see that sniper playing towards the Shutter. Should be able to see him. Oh, it's Jordy that jumped in. One rocket from Warp. Just not enough.
It's 90 damage here, and a counter bomb comes out quite fast on from Puck, and it's actually Lucas dropping down quite low from that bomb. Menix lives to tell the tale, but no soldiers up. Means that SKEDDA have to back out of lobby for now, cannot responsibly hold it without those extra projectile classes. Menix, so far this map, unable to connect with much of anything here onto the snipers. A single 150 damage body shot onto the Demo was not enough for a kill. Now, 45 seconds left on the round timer, meaning we're probably going to be seeing SKEDDA with one last opportunity here to just send it in with no time remaining, no risk of being pushed on the way. They take a bad trade. Instead, we're going in onto right side. The Uber's popped onto Lucas, and we're going in onto the sentry gun.
Yep, Uber will get used now much later for the side of NOOBPANZER. They're going to try and catch anyone they can. Puck is doing so much damage, not quite able to claim any frags just yet, but playing close. They are a much healthier team right now. SKEDDA has no choice but to kind of heal up, but it's only 11 seconds left on the round timer. Wolf is going to jump all the way in, finds a pyro, gets absolutely nuked towards this doorway. How are they going to get possibly anywhere near? And SKEDDA, even they know it's like, all right, boys, I guess we'll see you on mid again.
It's another round reset here in the grand finals. Unable to convert once again. Just Snakewater last hold, proving too difficult here for the side of SKEDDA. Now we'll just be going back on to middle here. Both teams just looking to roll out. Neither side last time around got conclusive advantages. It was just NOOBPANZER backing out after losing position. This has been a very slow matchup so far. Would not be surprised if we continue to see that being the case. The early spam being exchanged across for the demo man, kind of ending up in the favor of Lucas now. Soldiers up on height, spamming down here. It was that upward spam from SKEDDA that won them the middle last time. No high ground anymore on the side of NOOBPANZER. This time, Ryan getting a bit aggressive onto top side, but he's counter-bombed.
Oh my
Creatures.
God. Yeah, gets absolutely nuked down, and once again, it's that same kind of situation for SKEDDA. That is a crucial frag, and even getting Gazi late is once again so good. You can see what's happening on these mid-fights. It's very much NOOBPANZER taking that initial bit of height and just trying to almost bait SKEDDA in, but SKEDDA's just not falling for it at all. The second NOOBPANZER think they're a little bit comfortable, guess what? That is one frag, and as soon as SKEDDA gets that frag, they're peeking and looking for more. Speaking of looking for more as well, you can see Lucas trying to take this gun down. Yep, gun has gone down. Actually manages to get Puck all the way in spawn. They're all the way to the left-hand side for free.
We have a pick to work with here. This is even Uber's. The Soldier Bomb comes in, forces the Uber out of Mac. Jordy wants to bomb forwards, get that force, and they do. But they lose 2 players for it now. Uber's fading. It's still no decisive advantage, but SKEDDA now have NOOBPANZER back where they had them before. Another 5 minutes here to try and resolve a round.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could see based off of that, it was like 1 extra frag for the side of NOOBPANZER, and they're like, nah, man, like it's Snakewater. We're going to risk it off that. And they decided, no, they're not going to. So that is Voxy on the Engineer. Sentry's going to be getting set up. You know that same hold that we know and love on Snakewater last? That's what we're going to see just a little bit more of.
That Sentry Gun on that ground.
It's so annoying.
Does so much work because it's close enough to where you can't even peek out necessarily and spam it down. Also, look how close that soldier is playing as well. So hard to find an angle onto it. You have to get super far in, which you can't do. If the demo man's holding close, the shutter's not big enough, neither is dropped down. It allows so much room here for the sniper soldiers. Bombing in once again, trying to get in forwards. There's early damage here. Sentry Gun is sitting down as the soldier bombing forwards, but Piggles escapes into spawn. Cleanup kill onto Warped as well. Now the soldier in behind the headshot from Gazi. This is a 3-pick advantage for NOOBPANZER.
Yep, all right, that is 3 picks. This is the moment when NOOBPANZER decides how do they want to play this game, and I'll tell you what, they changed off their classes, so they will be going forward 2 seconds before any of these SKEDDA players spawn. They can afford to possibly trade here on point, which is exactly what they're going to do. Uber does get used. Puck goes super weak, but actually they're somehow managing to stay all alive. 1 shot, 2 shot. Eventually, Piggles will have to use. They do take down medics, but they lose Voxy of their own. Is this even that good of an Uber? Are they going to manage to find anything else? Just about trying to get over the soldier, but he lives!
The soldier lives just barely. That singular rocket enough to dissuade Gazi from pushing forwards now. It's even picks for both teams. You can see SKEDDA right back into lobby. Are they just going to look to push this forward instead? They're sending
what a rocket!
Joe! And Joe getting shut down now. No demo man means no stickies onto the point. There's an Uber to hold this either. Stickies from Lucas being reloaded and shut up onto that point now. It is a pyro up. Heavy as well. SKEDDA, they don't have an Uber to manage this. Instead, just pure spam from their projectile classes. trying to edge out the cap a little bit now. Joe is spawning once again, but Warped is in onto Pickles, who manages to survive the heavy taken down. So many frags coming across from SKEDDA, but they're paying for it with their lives. Only Lucas left. The health on Joe is so low, but I think just barely they hold on.
Oh my God, no, but Lucas is jumping in. He's directly in one sticky, not quite hitting the pipe.
Barely. Would have been the salvage of a lifetime getting in onto Pickles there, but instead unable to hit that last Iron Bomber pipe. And now, no demo man for SKEDDA once again out of lobby, but it is 100% Ubers for both teams. And we are, eepily, we're back where we started.
Dude, it is insane how much my heart rate is going up and down when we're staying on the same point. We spent 13 minutes basically on Snakewater last, and yet it is actually wild.
Now NOOBPANZER. They tried to just force themselves in. It just barely did not work with that early kill onto Joe. Now, once again, looking to pressure forward. Jordy's so far forward, and it's a sniper kill this time around. He should get traded fast because he's 5 HP. Sentry gun spammed down as now Lucas has found an angle onto Pickles, who doesn't want to pop this Uber, but he's so low. The bomb from Warped forces him to do so. As they flash a lot, the bomb from Puck finds 2, and the aggression shut down for now. But what are the consequences? It's 100% for Mac, and there's a massive opportunity for SKEDDA now. Need to make this work.
They absolutely do. They are getting the spawners up in just about a second or so. 55 seconds left on the clock. That is plenty of time as long as they do get themselves moving. Remember, they have to use an entire Uber here, maybe force some of these players out and get themselves on the point. The longer they wait, the more rush they will have to be. And you can see Lucas already towards this shutter. Does look like he's going to try and bomb in as soon as they're ready. 38 seconds left on the clock. There's a gun to deal with. There's a sniper as well. Uber does get used all the way towards this shutter. Gun will get forced down immediately. Lucas going for this bomb all the way in. He really wants to get onto Joe. Not quite connecting that damage though. Warp is getting this high ground, which is a great little position, but the heavy from Foxy is just annihilating these players.
NOOBPANZER holding on so strong. The bomb unsuccessful from SKEDDA. They had a huge advantage. Unable to convert. You can see NOOBPANZER, they got that wipe, but they are just staying back on last. As the round timer run out, we get another round reset here in this best of 5. The failed advantage push there from SKEDDA towards the end was their golden ticket to a 1-0 lead, but NOOBPANZER successfully hold on, and they're sending us back onto middle this time. The last 2 times on these mid-fights, it's NOOBPANZER losing the slow war of attrition, not giving SKEDDA a sizable advantage to push it to last with, and just backing out. Once again, both teams sitting back, neither looking to take the first move once again.
No, not just yet. I feel NOOBPANZER's going to be very aware. They don't want to get baited in this exact same way. So actually, neither team is playing too heavily towards this height whatsoever. It's actually kind of really funny to see if you're used to playing a lower level of TF2, where usually it's just kind of bomb in and do whatever. We do see Ryan going towards the enemy kitchen, is just seeing if he can bait anyone in. I mean, he is on the high ground, so it should go well. Oh, he is actually getting combined down. Menix is going to be securing that frag, and that's going to open things up just a little bit. Menix moving all the way towards point. The lovely little
bomb!
Oh, that's
coming in onto Pickles, and it gets the Uber forced out. Now you can see how far back SKEDDA play there, making sure they keep their own medic alive. Much bigger advantage than SKEDDA have had in the past coming out of these middles. The bomb at the end there from Warped. So successful in onto Pickles. No choice but to pop. They're looking good to try and get into second. Their goal, they don't want to use this here on second. They want to use this in onto last.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, their dream right now is to take second for free, and there's no one really contesting them. There's nothing they should have to worry about. However, they don't know that. You know, they've got to check every corner. They've got to check for hiders and sniper sightlines and all these different things. But they've managed to basically secure second here. They are moving towards this right-hand side, but we're already 90% on the side of Pickles. So just a little bit of delaying could be all they need. We do see Lucas jumping straight on in. Gun has gone down, moving towards this left-hand side now. He's trying to commit, but 100% Uber is in the hands of Pickles, and it will be used. We do have Mac getting juggled directly into the rockets there, and with the follow-up as well from Joe, that is SKEDDA just being picked apart.
Unable to convert before that Uber comes out of Pickles, just in the nick of time there. Early kill from Lucas. on to Puck. Shuts down a bit of the aggression here out of NOOBPANZER. Losing both of their soldiers means that they can still take second. But they get scared. They get cold feet. They're running back. And you know why the crowd are reacting right now?
Yeah.
Look at that Uber charge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh yeah. I don't know. I don't blame them. The spawners were coming in on the side of SKEDDA. I feel like NOOBPANZER, they were just saying like, maybe. But then it's like, nah, man. They just about can.
Gazzy up on the sniper, has been favoring this in the last hold. SKEDDA so far in the 18 minutes rather. Yeah, just 18 minutes. I almost did bad math. In the 18 minutes we've been in this game so far, SKEDDA unable to provide an answer to this NOOBPANZER last hold. However, NOOBPANZER unable to step across into the blue side of the map even once. SKEDDA very successfully holding NOOBPANZER back to their own side of the map. They get back into lobby here. Gazzy up on the spy once again, making sure no one's doing anything. It's Jordy with a skip jump coming in, spots in the medic, wants to go in for the shot, but that sentry gun is doing so much work. It is taken down to the sick bomb. In onto Piggles. Finds absolutely nothing. Now it's a lot of kills here. Puck wants to go in on it to Mac. Does not find the rocket. He's 100 HP, forced to back away. 3 picks, but with 2 down on NOOBPANZER means that they are staying back on their own last.
Yeah, absolutely no choice there. Great little bomb. I almost thought that could have been some really significant damage towards Piggles, but actually someone managed to take about 20 damage. I don't even really know how that happened. You know, there's all these kind of micro movements and bits of terrain you can play around. You know, all these intricacies of playing medic, which clearly Piggles just knows.
Very successfully dodging that sink bomb coming out of Jordy towards the end. Now Gazzy back on the sniper. Still buffing up the soldier once again. Jordy going for a bit of a different angle, but it's a skip jump in once again that fails, and the sniper and the sentry gun completely shutting down this bomb. Warp, he's up on the man treads, but he just gets shut down. The counter bomb from Puck is going in onto Mac. 1 rocket, 2, and it forces the Uber now. NOOBPANZER advantage to work with here.
Oh, I feel like I've seen this before. I'm getting scared right now, I'm going to be honest with you. Piggles does have that 100% Uber. However, are they going to commit to pushing forward? Because there's so many things that can happen on Snakewater second. You know, are they going to get back out? I mean, all I'm saying is right now, Voxy's still on Engineer, Gazzy's still on Sniper. I don't think they're pushing.
2 minutes left on the round timer, and NOOBPANZER are completely disinterested in anything other than another mid-fight. As they sit back on their last, allowing Af to build up this Uber charge onto his medic. 75% already. Joe is playing on the loose cannon now, looking for some double dunk cannon balls. Have to see if they are effective. Found 1 kill earlier.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it is an incredibly good weapon just for, you know, juggling people. We do see the speed shot once again. Jordy, not going to be doing a great deal. Kind of just stuck here on about 26 HP, and yeah, that's going to be losing his life. And it's actually Lucas going down there. Ryan kind of wants more, actually doing so much damage, and Warp is going to be cleaning it off before losing his own life.
Down. Oh. Lucas, Jordy falling as well, but is Lucas in that fight somewhere? Now Menex, he's up on the spy, I think. Are they just trying to bait them into pushing forwards? NOOBPANZER not taking the bait at all. They are just sitting on their last with a 3-kill advantage, including a demo man. But Gazzy now, up on the spy and spawn, will have checked and spotted out that yes, Menex is up on the off class, and you can see the response is the pyro. 40 seconds now left on the clock. And now SKEDDA, they're gonna have to make a sort of Hail Mary push, but with a spy on their team.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's just about managing to get in. Very, very scary. Ubers do get used on both sides. This is a little bit better for side of NOOBPANZER. Gun has gone down, and maybe Menex possibly going to find a bit of an opportunity. Af is the first casualty here alongside Jordy. Yeah, okay, they do at least manage to get Ryan, though. Maybe this is going to all come down to Menex, but there's 14 seconds. The rest of the team aren't really able to commit. They don't have the players.
He has 10 seconds to try and make something happen here, but SKEDDA not in position, just choosing to just send it in through this side. He uncloaks onto the point, but that's just the pyro in his face, shut down on the point here. Lucas wanting to go forward, hitting decent damage, but the heavy just too strong. Overtime now. The round time is over, and we're resetting for a 3rd time on this second map.
Right. One, I've got a question. On Snakewater last, what do you need in order to actually push? Because 2 frags you've already worked out isn't enough. 3 is not enough. 4? 5?
I think so, honestly. NOOBPANZER not willing to take any risks.
No.
Because I think you present that opportunity, no demo man, no soldiers on the other side.
Yeah, it's like,
95% of teams in the world, they take that trade. But instead now, NOOBPANZER would rather just take the guaranteed mid-fight. They have not been successful so far. We've seen 3 across this game, and none of them were successful. In this time, it's Puck trying to go in behind, shut down here by Warp, who wins the 1v2. Gazzy falling as well. Now SKEDDA, they want to come in, they want to collapse, but Pickles is far away. It's a skip bomb.
What a rocket!
Really nice rocket from Jordy, but it just sends him forwards with Pickles, who can keep running away. And we have...
You won't believe it. You won't believe it.
100% Uber on both teams. On NOOBPANZER Snakewater last.
But there's no gun, there isn't the full defensive setup, and you can see right now SKEDDA, they've delayed capping second because they're moving all the way towards this left-hand side. It is very, very difficult. As you can see, NOOBPANZER will be kiting all the way away. Yeah, they're going to hold things out just again. Actually, that's Lucas going down. Okay, right. Yes, that is Lucas going down. However, NOOBPANZER did push off Lucas and 2 soldiers. I feel like they're probably not going to go now. Maybe the most we'll see is Puck try and do something, and I think even that, he'll just be looking to back up and keep his own life.
Onto Voxy, low health
Gazzy?
bars. Gazzy falling 2. Rockets from Jordy and Warped. Secure 2 clean kills. Now Lucas is up. It's 100% for both sides, and 1 soldier is sacking forwards now. Jordy coming in as well. Pickles sitting really far back as Jordy just chooses to sit on the high ground. Try to spam down the medic. He bombs across. 1 rocket does not connect. The second one comes in. The pickaxe forces the Uber, and that's enough for now. The cleanup is coming in though. We're losing so many members for this. Has to retreat with Mac, but he's so low. Unable to find that cleanup kill, but NOOBPANZER, they push out of their last, gain control of second, but lose control of their Uber charge.
Yeah, exactly, and that is 100% Uber in the hands of Mac. Warped and Lucas will just about be spawning. You can see how close they're still playing. They really want to go in there, trying to commit here. They're going so fast all the way up to them. Jordy's desperately trying to block them, but the demo prevents him from getting forward. They can't get onto Piggles.
It's a kill onto the demo man though. SKEDDA, should they please, they could keep rolling the health bars, but NOOBPANZER, not quite there. Jordy has been hitting so many rockets this final so far, and now Af is in onto the point, relatively uncontested. The bomb is coming through from Ryan, from BoxTech, as they're trying to hold on to the point. The Gazzy Pyro is so big, and unfortunately for SKEDDA, they just have to retreat. It's a crit flare gun kill onto Lucas. NOOBPANZER hold on once again, 50% advantage, and they're back onto their second.
Oh my god, this is actually impossible. I really thought that for SKEDDA. I really thought that's such an opportunity for them. But NOOBPANZER, they just hit those shots when they need it. I mean, there's a reason why people know they're this good. Like, that is genuinely incredible. Now, NOOBPANZER will have their own Uber. They will know the situation. They'll know that SKEDDA's going to be on 100% themselves. There is about 4 minutes 40 left on the map at this point. We are still 0-0. Oh my god.
NOOBPANZER still unable to move into the enemy side, enemy half of the map. Now it is the blue soldiers once again peeking, trying to go forward. Jordy, early bomb unsuccessful. Warp just peeking through window, spots a scout, unable to commit through that angle. Now still 100% for both teams. And instead of trying to push last, it is now up to SKEDDA to try and find the angle in on a 2-second here. Try to break this hold. Even Uber stalemate. Puck wants to go in onto Saw. It's a lot of damage, just a combo. Super aggressive here on the side of NOOBPANZER. They take down 2. Now, the rest of the team coming forward. There's a soldier trade coming in now onto Voxy, onto Ryan, but falling. And Warped taking the solo Uber and Saw for a long, long time. But Mac might get called out by the soldier here, unable to hit the rockets though as Hugo. 3 down for NOOBPANZER. They want to go in. They have a demo man. They have their players.
Yeah, this is going to be SKEDDA getting control of second. These spawners will be coming in on the side of NOOBPANZER, which should prevent any immediate push in. But that is a little bit scary. I do have to shout out Warp there. I feel like there was some real quick decision-making, some really nice rocket, but just trying to understand exactly how those Ubers got traded. Every flash does make that just a little bit shorter, and I feel like they really knew what was going on. Jordy goes for the same little speed shot. I love the jump. It's such a great way of getting through and basically ensuring there's no way of having those stickies there on you, but this time it isn't to be.
And at this point, it has to start being very telegraphed that this is the play that he's going to choose to go
Oh,
for.
yeah.
He's gone for it so many times. It is a slight advantage here for Mac. Not playing around it, SKEDDA. Instead, we are back on to last here. Should this round reset, we would just go to a golden cap. We don't even have time. It's 2.5 minutes left on the map timer. And now, Jordy, we're on to the heavy here.
Prediction. That is going to be an Uber trade into a heavy repush.
I think you're right here, eepily. Scouting out lower for now. Gazzy's still up on the sniper. He has a decent counter to the heavy. Can just get one shot instead now. It's Uber trade coming in onto lower as the Ubers pop from both sides. Sentry gun so low, but actually not taken down as Lucas instead. Gazzy with the reflex, not able to be taken down. Mac falls. This Pyro lives for so long. The heavy's coming in, and they are finding 2 kills here. Pickles, super low, does fall. It's a heavy v heavy here onto last, and now it's one scout onto the point. No one is blocking him. Joe barely onto the point, so is the heavy NOOBPANZER. Hold on again.
Oh my god, this is actually wild. They were so close to actually managing to get it, but just not quite, like you say. That heavy on the aggression was such a huge asset, but they just didn't quite have enough damage. They didn't quite have the positioning, and they just didn't quite get able to play that point in time. And now, 1 minute 30 on the clock. Ubers are pretty much exactly equal. Both teams are going to be looking up to build theirs as quickly as possible. I feel like from NOOBPANZER's POV, all they're thinking right now is build, get this Uber, get our full defensive setup, because, I mean, you basically held this for 28 minutes. Why can't you do it for 1 minute longer?
SKEDDA now looking for some early aggression here, to be completely honest, from my side. Have to break this before the Uber comes up, but not willing to take that risk. 1 minute left on the map timer. Such a slow game so far. Jordy sitting up towards the shutters. You can see their angle. I think they're just going for the trade instead because Lucas sitting very far forwards. Soldier jumps in onto drop down, does spot it. Sentry gun, 1 HP is taken down, and so is Ryan. Now the Uber onto the Pyro from Gazzy. Effective in dissuading the scout from pushing forwards.
Yeah, we do see Jordy moving towards this left-hand side. They do have this 1-player advantage. A lot of space to take. There is a heavy we're dealing with. It's actually not particularly healthy. Gazzy's somehow gone down now as well. This heavy is getting a lot of damage, but the damage is coming in on the side of SKEDDA.
The health, it's not there for anyone at the moment. 2 soldiers on the high ground could just clean this up. It's a super nice bow there from Pickles as well. Lucas, 13 HP in a dream. It's one
the double dunk!
Double dunked all the way to the golden cap as Menex. He wants it all on his own, but he can't. Light's a bit too bright, maybe at the moment, then the final hour they falter. 6 seconds left. A bit of cap time will slow our descent into madness, but that is 0-0 in regulation time, and we are going to a golden cap.
Good God, okay, right now. And
here
we go.
Live into the golden cap here. Pickles is up on the crit screen. We'll have to see can make that work. Now NOOBPANZER banking everything on a slow mid initially, but then a decisive victory. As SKEDDA already positioning around that balcony area. Now it's Jordy up on the high ground early, looking to spam across. Eating a bit of damage himself, but it's Joe falling down really low here. Now Warp wants to bump through, ends up falling, and it's a 1-pick advantage so far. Jordy goes in. It's a lot of damage. It's a kill onto Ryan. And now Soldiers traded across, but there's no top high ground for SKEDDA anymore. 2 soldiers down. Crits from Pickles is up now. Point being captured, and it is all eyes on Joe.
Yep, here we go, moving towards this grass position. Crits does get used, but there's just no one to connect it to. Uber does get forced out here right now. Lucas does actually get taken down. Gazzy gets absolutely decimated by Jordy. And now this is going to be both teams in a pretty equal position.
It's a bit of chaotic situation here, honestly. No demo man for the side of SKEDDA means NOOBPANZER confident in walking into that grass area. Scout on height is going to watch Puck bomb all the way forward here, trying to take as much space as possible. This is a soldier on the low ground, looking to shoot up. The rocket from Puck is huge. The kill from Ryan onto the enemy medic.
That's
SKEDDA,
it. That's got to be it.
In the front seat for so long, crumbling at the scenes in the final hour. Just 2 players up and holding the carries of this team so far. Maddox finds one, but he eats a rocket so low up on this high ground. Joe finding 1 kill. They're in onto the cap. There's no one up, and NOOBPANZER, they tie us up.
Oh my God. What a way when you cannot string together a mid-fight the entire game, and then suddenly you get one more little victory, and then one more. I really need to know how Lucas died. When that Uber got used, how did Lucas die? How did they manage to let that happen? That's such a crucial loss to have, and it just opened this entire game back up, and guess what? With 2 maps in, and we basically reset things. We're pretty much just playing a best of 3 now.
This is a game of inches.
Yeah.
So far, the tiniest of margins between these two teams separating them, one going to a golden cap, the other just barely ending in regulation time. To break these maps down, unless production starts screaming in my ear right now, I do believe we have a desk, Lucky, to help us with the analysis of what we've seen.
Welcome back to the analyst desk, ladies and gentlemen, here at Dortmund. Wowee, that was a whole ass game. How are we feeling, gents? I'm joined by Benpl, not Steven, and Surny. For those of you that have forgotten, Ben, thoughts? Because we got 2 maps to go over basically for the time being. But 1-0 Sunshine, 1-0 on Snakewater. How are you feeling about the fun so far?
Yeah, it's been slow gameplay. It's been, I don't know. This is like typical grand final nerves for me. This is like, I'm watching the players, everyone's playing so careful, so methodical, and there's no like rash pushing out of last, there's no heavy risks taking. Everyone's playing exactly by the numbers because they have to. It's the grand final, it's the biggest game that any of these players have played probably at all, to be quite honest, on this stage. So you can see that coming through in the gameplay quite a lot, and it has meant the game slowed down, but that's what meant these peaks, when these rounds have come through, it's been all the more hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is EU TF2 to a T, isn't it? It's just classic. At one point, they, I think, killed 4 players on the side of NOOBPANZER, or it was the other way around, and they just didn't push out a last. Yeah. They looked at second, and they were like, oh, we could go back to last and defend for another 2 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's EU TF2. It's a grueling matchup, though. It's just an unstoppable force, finds an immovable object, right? It was, yeah, a nail-biter, though, throughout.
Feels like we've been here all day, and it's only been 2 maps. I mean, Snakewater is just Snakewater, right?
Yeah.
You push out a last, you get punished. Every single time NOOBPANZER tried, they instantly got punished for it, and then just went back to holding last for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But also, Voxy loves that last point, so it doesn't surprise me, really. Sunshine, scrappy map.
Yeah.
It's very messy.
Yeah.
Neither team able to do anything for literally as long as they possibly could have. And SKEDDA somehow inching it out. I mean, you can't really get more closely matched than these 2 teams right now are.
Yeah. Do you feel like that, as a result of the pressure of the game, that they feel the need to not take as much risk, though? Do you feel like they're not trying things that they maybe should be? I mean, we rarely saw 2-man sacks. We rarely saw off-the-wall base jumpers, these kinds of things. Do you feel like a little bit more looseness would be good for these teams?
Potentially, but it's so hard when you're on the stage in the big match in the grand final. Everyone wants to play the sort of perfect, tried and tested like EU way, like you were saying. Everyone wants to play like complete like by the numbers TF2, right? And going for these off strats, yes, it might work as a surprise. And to be fair, in a grand final stage, it would be a bigger surprise to see things like that working. But yeah, it's something that could flare up the play for a bit, and I think it could catch someone out.
Yeah.
Even though they were on last a bit, those last hold work for a reason, and it's those players being so regimented with how they hold it. And I think the main staple for that is Gazzy. His pyro is the best in 6s, right? There's no one who comes close to him. And how he plays sniper is really, really good. He is not taking those super aggressive angles, trying to find a pick. Oh, he's going Huntsman. I'll come on to that. I've got something to say about that. No, but like on Snakewater last, he's always holding that left shutter where the sniper can't actually see you, and he's taking that little peek, and he's waiting for like a minute and a half. And he's changing his angle a little bit, trying to look, saying, oh, the sniper's not here. And without that regiment, and making sure he's never being the first pick, always staying alive, it just keeps that hold solid and keeps the team in the round.
Yeah.
And to that, I can also just raise you for the last holds. Voxy's also doing a phenomenal job. Like he's always exactly where he needs to be. Every single one of those last holds that they miraculously didn't lose, he's always alive as heavy, surviving for like 80 health somehow.
Yeah.
He's always there exactly when he's needed, killing like 3 people as heavy. He is one of the best players in EU for a reason.
Yeah, he's one of those star players that you look at and you think this guy is the most consistent player on this team. He is the one that's sort of like probably the driving force. I wouldn't say he was being the most vocal in those games. By the looks of it, it was actually Puck When you're looking at them and having he was organising mid fights, he was talking about strategies, actually doing things, and I think that one thing they're really missing out on is the Piggles Lamb buff. He's been relatively silent in this game, by the looks of things. Maybe some jitters there.
Yeah, we had a big cheer when the round came through at the end, but there hasn't been too much to cheer about other than that, to be honest. But I can say with the crits coming out, you mentioned earlier, looking with that being sort of Piggles sort of loosening up and being willing to have more creativity, and that's the sort of personality that Piggles has, right? And so letting that come through into this game is potentially good for them, looking forward into the potentially next 3 maps of this series.
Yeah.
To be fair, this morning he was one of the few NOOBPANZER people that showed up a bit earlier, and he wasn't feeling all that well. You can imagine, you can make up your mind as to why or not.
Yeah, there we go on the screen.
perhaps it has something to do with the
Might be
bonks.
to do with the blue bonks, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
A few of the Girottis as well. Who knows what he was drinking at the time? Yeah, bit of chaos. But yeah, coming into the next map, I think it would be worth bringing back up on the screen the map picks and bans, so we have a brief reminder about what we've got up and coming next. It's going to be Granary, which is the SKEDDA pick. How are we feeling about Granary, boys?
I'm very, very excited for Granary, because from SKEDDA's perspective this is, because we've seen twice in these past 2 days, in these knockout phases, SKEDDA have absolutely torn apart teams on Granary. It's been so strong, and it's been strong not in the typical sort of Granary way of grinding the team down there. They're not sitting in these stalemates like we're seeing now for long times. There's like Lucas is committing to bombing in, the soldiers taking so much space forward, and the supporting cast of scouts and medic also just pushing. It's been aggressive, it's been fast TF2, which is not normally what you'd see on Granary, but it's working out so well for them.
Yeah, this has definitely been SKEDDA's best map that we've really seen. They play consistently, looked amazing on Process as well, and that's probably why that was banned out so early on, right? But yeah, I think Granary for the side of SKEDDA has been looking good. NOOBPANZER a little less tested on that map, but to be honest, with the players and how they've been playing, I think they should be playing pretty well on this map either way.
I don't know if it matters who picked this map, honestly.
No?
I don't think so. Like SKEDDA, yeah, they look strong on Granary,
Fine.
but I do think NOOBPANZER can put just as good of a fight.
Yeah.
They weren't looking strong on their own pick right now with Snakewater. They were genuinely crap at everything except holding last. They genuinely sucked ass at everything except holding last. But Granary is a different map, plays completely differently. They still have a super strong soldier duo with a strong demo man to back them up as well. Yeah. I do think they stand just as good of a chance.
Yeah, indeed. And speaking of which, we do have Elliot himself, eepily, and Wandum ready over on the caster desk. Take it away, boys.
That's me and you, eepily. How are you doing?
I'm getting doxed right now.
It's crazy.
Oh, well, what can you do? Yeah, no, we're back. Map 3, which is almost kind of considered map 1 of like the remaining best of 3, because, yeah, 1 map apiece. In pretty grueling fashion. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like this is going pretty neck and neck. I think it's an interesting point to talk just for a second about Granary. I mean, what you were just saying a second ago about how it's a heck of a map for Lucas in particular, quite possibly why SKEDDA went for that pick, but I mean, I'm going to be real. I don't know what I'm thinking going into this.
I think from what we've seen so far, these 2 first maps were so very close between these 2 teams. This is another map you can play super slow, and so far both of these teams seem so willing to be slow as well. We are just looking to go live here once again. Dortmund, are you enjoying yourselves? Map number 3 has been started. We finished a best of 5. It's a best of 3 now. NOOBPANZER and SKEDDA up 1 apiece here. Lucas, early sticky coming across, damaging both players on NOOBPANZER's side, trying to take that control of the height. As now, bomb coming forwards out of Geordie, spots another soldier, not able to connect the headshot. Instead, it's puck just in. Oh. Pickles, however, falls to the bomb. Now Ryan, sync onto Mac, unable to find the rockets instead. Just Joe finding 1 kill on his own. Puck is 30 HP on the height. Af and Mac are the only 2 up, and they are not in on mid.
No, absolutely not. They did get a little bit disconnected there as well, so they didn't build quite as perfectly as what they could have done otherwise, but ultimately didn't really matter because a beautiful little bomb there from Warped, I believe, straight onto Pickles is ensuring that SKEDDA, while losing the mid fight, will have a 100% Uber advantage. Now you're seeing NOOBPANZER set themselves up here on mid, try and get some high ground, some decent position. Obviously their dream is to use coordinated spam, maybe the kind of risk of a bomb, or maybe a bomb itself to try and get this force out, or retain as many of their players as possible. Now they're looking towards the choke point. These pipes, these stickies have been set up in such a way to make this just a little bit more difficult. Soldiers as well, dancing everywhere along this map. Ryan actually should be a casualty right now, tries to see if he can go for any kind of trade frag. Isn't going to happen. SKEDDA's walking all the way in. They have taken a little chunk of damage, but ultimately they brigade mid completely for free, and that is a really nice position. But ultimately, they can't really go any further. Piggles does have their own Uber now, so they're looking all good. Now a little bit of aggression, potentially. Jordy, he wants some kind of fight towards the flank. He's dragging players back in the entire combo. On the side of SKEDDA, is moving towards his left-hand side. App has taken so much. Jordy actually going all the way towards point right now. He's taking a little 1v1, but ultimately the health of these NOOBPANZER players is so much more. And yeah, that's going to be it. Ubers, they're getting traded. It's actually a little bit better for NOOBPANZER right now. You can see they're trying to block at least one of these players. App is just about escaping with their life. Now, NOOBPANZER, they're not going to push off one. It's Granary. It's so difficult to get into mid, let alone deal with some of these players on the high ground, so they're not going to commit heavily off that. Basically, Ubers are completely equal right now, and this is going to be a moment, I think, maybe where they just build up. They're going to start talking about how they want to try and break this stalemate, because all I'm saying is, we're looking pretty.
The default solution so far has to send in your soldiers. Jordy and Warp both equally successful and unsuccessful in getting in, finding advantages off of these bombs. So Uber is not up for Pickles quite yet. Should you go in before the Uber builds all the way to 100%, it is an easier frag now. One soldier bombing across, just trying to assess the situation, make some kind of space. But Jordy instantly bombs back. It's Warp bombing in. A lot of damage in onto the Demo Man, but is not able to secure the kill. Now just one down. SKEDDA retreat back onto mid on NOOBPANZER. Once again, unwilling to respond in kind.
No, I do want to take a moment just to shout out the fact that you can see Joe using default pipes as opposed to Iron Bomber. It's a very considered decision just because those pipes will last so much longer before they actually destroy themselves, which means with these longer sight lines on Granary, it does actually come into it. You can show, you can see the level of thought they kind of put into every single decision they make. Something even minuscule like that you think shouldn't matter. Actually, it opens up different ways of spamming, maybe different ways of forcing or even getting frags on these mid defenses, as well as kind of moving forward onto the other points. So yeah, just a little bit worth mentioning.
Blue soldiers getting buffed up into choke once again. Jordy just sends it in this time. Drops all the way down to 6 HP. Has to just get created. Warped, unable to get forward. And that is once again singular soldier sack. Now NOOBPANZER getting a bit more aggressive here, walking into their ramp room, trying to scout it out middle, see if they can find any sort of angle for maybe their soldiers. A bit of a sack. It is Ryan, 160 on top, but he's unwilling to go forwards, just backing off on NOOBPANZER again, as Jordy has respawned, joined the fight.
Oh, Lordy Jordy. And that's what I have to say.
That's a good one.
Thank you. There we go. Right, Uber's very, very equal. A little bit of aggression. Peeking this doorway, moving towards this right-hand side. You can go for such deep bombs. We do see Warp go in. First rocket, it's a little bit of damage, but it's just not enough. Menix tries to go with the follow-up, but just not enough to combine it. Oh, God. Scout class. I feel like Ryan just got Soldier class in 2024.
Yeah, that is Af doing exactly what is expected of him when a soldier comes bombing in like that. Textbook. Yep. Completely shutting down Ryan's any attempt at getting in towards Mac. Now, it's a singular pick advantage, and one now Jordy looking to try and get into Lunchbox maybe instead, but the spam is pretty powerful here for NOOBPANZER, just forced to walk back out. SKEDDA reconsidering their angles. It's a minute and a half left on the round timer. We have seen so many in this best of 5 finals already, and eepily, the signs are kind of telling me we might be seeing a few more. I'm trying everything in my power. I'm trying to caster curse this away.
Yeah, honestly, that is the most honorable use of the caster curse I've ever heard. Yeah, go on, right, definitely going to go to the round limit. Okay. Let's see what happens. Maybe this is going to give Jordy a little bit more success. Nope, not going to happen. And the thing is as well, you can see how these SKEDDA soldiers are positioning themselves. Maybe if Jordy was to get a little bit, Wolf was in such a position as to go for the follow-up, right? And then the second Jordy gets nothing, Wolf backs out as well. So, it's a very considered approach. They're trying to see if it's worth utilizing both together, but not necessarily having to do it, if you get me.
But I feel like for me, honestly, what's lacking is a bit of creativity. SKEDDA have shown one answer to any stalemate, and it is sacking in both their soldiers.
Yeah,
and it has demonstrably so far not worked. But a lack of other answers leads us now to this Uber trade with 30 seconds left on the round timer. It is AF getting in behind so far, pressuring a few players back, hitting a nice shot on to Voxy as well, bringing the whole team back here is AF. And this should allow SKEDDA at least control of the yard. But is there enough time left? 15 seconds on the round timer. AF cleaned up here, and there is no SKEDDA presence on point. Finally, sending themselves forwards as they have kind of managed to get in. There's a bit of cap time now, 4 seconds left of the round timer. We're trading kills here. On the side is Ryan. Wins the 1v1 onto Warp. He bombs in. So much damage here onto Mac, who drops as he lands. Has a date with gravity, but it does not matter. We're going back to middle.
Of course we are. Is there anywhere else we would want to be right now than back on mid on Granary? Well, these teams argue very much not. We're going to keep it going. Second round. We'll see if there's much different to the first. Like you say, there's some nice individual moments, but there is a little bit of a lack of creativity. You know, what they're trying to do just isn't really working. So at some point, they're going to have to make a change. You know, there's a whole, what's that definition of insanity? You know, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. And right now, there is not a different outcome.
Back on middle we go here. Early spam exchange. Jordy, very nice high ground position. Early spam damage across as well. As Joe forces it pretty far back in there to choke. SKEDDA not pouncing on it quite yet, but you can see soldiers looking, position themselves accordingly. It is just Gazzy walking across now. Bomb coming in on a warp. It's straightened onto the enemy medic of Pickles, who is 50 HP. Now Jordy wants to go in, but there's a beautiful little pipe there out of Joe, denying his bomb. A 1 kill onto Gazzy. The counter bomb coming out now. Uber's up for both sides, but it's cleanup coming in. Solo Uber onto Voxy. Wants to find so much. Jordan is down, but Menex on the flank manages to find the kill onto Joe, and now the collapse, the cleanup, the post-Uber. The SKEDDA scouts are coming alive. This might just be the biggest advantage SKEDDA have had all match.
Yeah, absolutely. That is such a crucial frag. Not only taking down those players, but taking down Pickles so late. Only now, just about going to be spawning, which means a fat old 50% advantage in the hands of Mac. They have second, completely theirs. Right. This is their moment. This is their opportunity. SKEDDA and NOOBPANZER, they've been so equal this entire time, but SKEDDA finally find themselves in such a good position to push forward here, getting around on the board relatively quickly here. It's going to be so crucial. 95% in the hands of Mac. It does look like they will be looking to go towards this shutter, maybe go for some kind of deep bomb. There is an engineer and a sniper. We do use all the way through. Sniper's not quite hitting that shot. Going to move all the way towards the left-hand side. Gun has got taken down. AF now trying to move towards point. See if they can get just a little bit of cap time. Soldiers trying to play on the high ground. Ryan does lose his life. Jordy's trying to do everything they can, but suddenly, two frags, so much time is on the cap, and everyone's moving forward. Lucas!
With the sword at the end. Unable to find that kill.
Does Mac live? Surely not.
It's SKEDDA falling at the finish line there. It was such a successful opener as well, getting the kill onto the soldier, but now NOOBPANZER respond. Massive advantage for them to work with. SKEDDA have to set up some kind of trap, some way to ensure that this Uber from Pickles does not accomplish much more than it already has. Setting up on the middle they go, as it's actually just an Uber used straight in already onto Joe. Finds not much, but it's Lucas caught out on the side. No demo man here for SKEDDA. The Uber used, but is it enough? NOOBPANZER
the back cap, that's ×4. That is the soldiers all the way on there. They're dealing so much damage to the shutter. Joe has gone down, just about getting blocked from the heels of Gazzy and Voxy. They're fighting so hard.
Menex.
No, Voxy has his number.
In the midst of this, though, it buys enough time for Mac. That was not a favorable fight on mid for SKEDDA, but just bringing them back. Jordy and the rest of the flank taking them back, ensuring enough time for Mac to build up an Uber charge of his own. Now, 30% advantage is dwindling fast. Should they want to capitalize off of it, they must go now. Going into ramp room already seems to be their choice. It's Jordy bombing across, finding an early soldier.
Oh, it's brave, though. It's so brave. They're trying to move all the way towards the left-hand side. They're doing really good damage. That coordinated spam onto Ryan does secure at least one frag. Oh, that's such a huge bomb from Jordy.
Jordy destroys them there. Now it's only 3 up. Look, Pickles has the Uber, but he's shot down so low. This is a chase opportunity for SKEDDA. Maybe they don't get the round, but they don't need to. All they need is this force coming out. The stickies are just on point.
My God!
Goes out already. Now, solo Uber onto Vox. He has to do everything by himself.
He's doing
because
nothing.
The spawners are coming out. Counter Uber, pop by Mac. It's so much later. Stickies onto the point are blown away as Pickles is already down low. Soldier comes forward, not enough health. Af falls and so does Puck. It is everyone falling across the board, but the blue health bars are just bigger than the red ones. Joe is 11 HP and he can't hold on his own. SKEDDA, they take a map, they take a round, and this time it takes them only 12 instead of 20.
Oh my God. What an absolutely wild little adventure there. That is huge. Our crowd is feeling it. A lot of SKEDDA fans. Oh my days. That was hard fought for SKEDDA. Finally, they find themselves with the round. And like you say, they have a lot of time to play with. Suddenly, there's just a little bit of a cushion for them. But you know what? NOOBPANZER, they don't want to give anything to them on this next mid. They're already up on crit screen. They're wanting to keep things fresh.
They're sitting a bit far back. We're going to have to wait for NOOBPANZER to build up this crit, and then they're going to pounce. A singular strike is all that they would need to take the victory. 75% for Pickles. They need to realize this is what's going on. It's already a kill onto Puck, but Lucas falls in the meantime. The collapse is coming in. So many players falls, and this is now a crit needed to save their lives. One pipe out of Joe, but it's a disconnect because Pickles falls. It's a wipe for SKEDDA.
This is huge. This is absolutely huge. That crit, I mean, they got one frag with it, and that was nowhere near enough. This is another perfect situation on the side of SKEDDA. All their players are up. They're going to be looking towards second. You can see right now, Voxy is already on Engineer, Gazzy's already on Sniper. They've got no interest in once again. Yeah, they're staying on crits. They're believing in this kind of defensive crits. They don't believe that they're going to get an Uber in time to be at all valuable. So they're sticking with the crits. Maybe they can get it right at the end of the fight in some kind of post-Uber situation. Maybe they can delay them just that little bit long enough. And they do have a heavy, so the laser beams are on the cards. That's all I'm saying.
70% hit on Pickles as the Uber comes in, straight onto the sentry gun as it is taken down. Now Lucas turning his sights towards the soldiers, the heavy on top with the family business, trying to shut down the enemies, but he's just taken down. Now Joe is unable to find the crits. The saw comes out, giving the crits, but there's no one to shoot. SKEDDA, first round, 2-0 up. And they're looking much more in control here as a pause comes out for NOOBPANZER.
There we go. No one's surprised there. SKEDDA finally, for the first time this entire series, with momentum. They have launched into this game in a dominant fashion, and I'm not surprised that NOOBPANZER just wanted to take a second to breathe and work out guys. Mac, he's feeling himself, you know. He's feeling himself like he's lost his car keys.
SKEDDA now 2-0 up on this third map. Looking a bit more in control. We'll have to see if NOOBPANZER can find their response on Granary, because so far NOOBPANZER unable to keep up with SKEDDA finding the advantages.
Yeah, this is going to be such a crucial round. Once you have the opportunity to have a bit of a mental reset just from having that pause, it's going to be all about what happens in the here and now. If they still can't find anything, it might kind of pull curtains a little bit on their hopes and dreams of this third map, but no point thinking about the hypotheticals because we're all about the here and now. Big bombs from the NOOBPANZER soldiers. What a direct from Jordy. That's amazing. It's so much damage towards Pickles, who does surf it away beautifully, but no, the damage is not looking good. Oh, these rockets.
The rocket onto Ryan in the end there is nice, but Pickles still alive. 2 blue scouts sitting on point. They will probably get the capture, but it's very low health bars here. All NOOBPANZER need to do is heal up. I'm surprised they're not taking that fight, to be completely honest. Have the superior health. They are walking back in now. No stickies to worry about. Demo Man is dead, but just checking, making sure no hiding soldier up on that lamp. We are going back in onto mid here. Jordy has arrived as well. Both teams respawning. We'll do another mid fight now. Jordy bombing across here onto the crates, not finding anything. Lucas instead sticking up his own ramp room and giving it away to NOOBPANZER, who find themselves a middle victory and 50% advantage.
Oh, but the stickies from Lucas. I do not have any idea how he managed that. What?
That's crazy.
That's
they have to
huge.
be blind. I don't know how else he finds them. We saw him set it up, and it just works so perfectly now. I said it a second later. He just takes my statement away from me. Now, massive advantage instead for SKEDDA here. This is 90. Make it 100% for AF. So much space to take, however. Still needing to conquer Yard before they can even consider second and last. NOOBPANZER, they want to get this Uber out as fast as possible. Already a soldier hiding in drop down.
Yeah. Oh, nearly got the timing. Not quite. Ryan is trying to be a sneaky little boy, and I feel like he might have actually got hurt out or something. Yeah, does go down in more ways than one, actually. And yeah, Ryan's going to be joining the spawn queue.
This is a soldier pick to work with here for SKEDDA now as well. He just take control of second, but with this a bit of a player ad, they're actually choosing not to go forward, just instead clearing the stickies set by Joe. Yet detonated, now gone as a heavy sits on top of this pipe, looking to deny the soldier bomb coming in from Jordy, who sees the heavy, wants to kind of land in onto Joe. But he has a quick little Chad pipe for him instead. SKEDDA have to retreat.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Jordy's death, it will be the rest of SKEDDA backing up just a little bit. They do still have this Uber. If they do want to fight the point, they don't have to give this up entirely. Voxy is trying to get as much cap down as they physically can, while also not being too much risk. That's actually a lot of damage towards Lucas. He just wants that extra little peek, but just not quite enough. Just making things difficult here. The spam from SKEDDA is looking pretty solid though, and that's just enough damage to force NOOBPANZER away once again. So back to last is where they're going to be going. They do still have this heavy on the defensive side, just for any bombers that do come in. That's Jordy taking some position. You can see they're really trying to find opportunity. The stickies from Joe are huge. He's almost...
The soldiers in onto second. Not quite able to find the collapse. These are very, very low health bars here on SKEDDA. So scary. Walking out of second because they know singular spam rockets, singular pipes coming out of the red side, and it just spells the end for their dreams of pushing last. 100% for either side still. This time SKEDDA unable to break the NOOBPANZER hold. Been able to do it twice so far. Both in quick succession, but NOOBPANZER maybe finding a bit of their footing. But still, again, it feels like at this point, there's something eating away. It's gnawing at me, eepily.
Yeah.
I feel like I am watching a team, and they're playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
This is always the concern. The thing is, SKEDDA, you know, this isn't like these last two maps where it's just going on and on and on at 0-0. SKEDDA's now 2 rounds up. NOOBPANZER, they have no choice but to do something. I understand that they are on their own last. I understand there's still 11.5 minutes left in the game. Yes, that is very important things. However, NOOBPANZER, at some point, they will have to make a decision. At some point, they will have to get aggressive, some kind of aggressive off-class, some kind of big decision. Yes. Lucas, he wants to go in. Double sticky straight in.
The medic hits a pipe onto the scout and is warped, falling already now. One player down, headshot from Gazzy onto Lucas. The sack is not a success. Now no demo man. Surely NOOBPANZER have to pounce off of this.
I feel like they think the exact same thing. They're playing so many towards the point. You can see Jordy all the way towards Z. He has got this beam fully stuck up him, and he is going to try and walk forward, doing some good little damage, actually managing to catch Joe, complete out, who just about gets saved. Menix has gone down, is a much, much better Uber. Losing Vox is not fantastic. Gazzy's taking a long time to kill this soldier, and it does actually drag all of these players back. Somehow, Joe gets juggled to up top, and is going to lose his life. This is very scary. Gazzy trying to take things, trying to get control of the situation, move forward, getting this capture would at least provide a little bit of security, and with everything now, that is second in control of NOOBPANZER, and this is going to be a significant Uber advantage. Mac did die in all of this. There are no buffs. There's no great health on the side of SKEDDA. Possibly an opportunity for NOOBPANZER to keep on going, or at least play off this Uber advantage. They're in a good spot.
They are. 50% advantage is massive for them. SKEDDA sitting up a soldier on this middle. Jordy has one goal, and it's a fall down with its 2 synced rockets. The Uber charge not quite there for Pickles, instead choosing wisely, I think, to rotate over. Make sure this Jordy bomb does not find much. He's going to drop down now into choke, find a singular soldier, and a lot of rockets. Now he's low. The rest of NOOBPANZER coming onto middle, and Jordy's picked off as well now. It's a singular kill. They have not popped the Uber. Instead, they're just finding 2. SKEDDA retreats 70%. Have they stalled for long enough?
I mean, they just about have. I do not think they'll be able to keep control of Yard here, because they are 2 players still down. Even NOOBPANZER wants to. They are actually a little bit slow. moving forward. NOOBPANZER do just about start moving. That is Puck with some nice little rockets. Somehow Warp is surviving for so long. Gets the trade. That is...
Lucas is dead.
No,
they're just finding the frags. They bust in completely. Pants down. SKEDDA. NOOBPANZER finding it some way. There's no gun up. There's nothing up on last here. Just a scout.
Keep going.
No demo either. The Uber comes out of Max just to try and salvage the situation for Pickles. Such a good job of milking. A kill onto Af as well means that the spawners will come out, but no Uber to hold onto it. The point half captured. Soldiers on the high ground. It is Gazzy falling, but Ryan combined. It's a kill from Pickles onto Jordy, and it's a round for the rest of his team.
That is such a push from the side of NOOBPANZER. They took their time getting into yard, and getting that first pick was oh so important. Somehow, though, getting the 2 more, specifically on the demo, all the way towards Shutter. I don't know quite how SKEDDA allowed it to happen, but that has completely busted his game wide open. It is still a 1-round advantage to SKEDDA, but momentum is firmly in the hands of NOOBPANZER. If they can just get 1 more mid-victory, I feel like they're going to be really feeling themselves. I would not be surprised if this ends up being equalized very shortly.
This is map 3 of the best of 5. This is the first round NOOBPANZER have taken in regulation time. As Ryan is coming in, and it's the swift bomb onto Mac. Deleted from the server.
Soldiers!
There's nothing to be said from SKEDDA. Annihilation. Instant. Little bit of a freeze on the broadcast. We are still playing live. As there we go, we're back into it. Menex feeling out the middle point and is unable to find anything. Instead, Pickles now, he wants to take this to 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do have, like you said, Menex is in a little bit of a situation. Although in the backlines, it's a little bit concerning. I'll be honest with you. You think maybe they could do something, but ultimately, they just become irrelevant very, very quickly. We do have the defensive crits as well. Like you say, I can see the gestures. Menex behind doesn't achieve anything right now. Joe's going to be jumping on in. This can be good damage. That Medic can definitely get caught. The gun has gone down. The damage all the way in spawn. So lucky to live there. That is heals all the way down. So much height in the hands
of
these players.
There's no point presence.
It's so good. It's so good for them. Nice and calm. They need to get just a couple arrows. They can move all the way towards Lucas. Just on Lucas. Can he do it? It's not enough.
NOOBPANZER respond. Do not take them lightly. Just because we're actually pushing for once doesn't mean that they can't hang with the big boys. Decisive middle. The soldiers come up clutch. And they're taking us to 2-2. 8 minutes to play with still, and this is anyone's game.
It is. It really, really is after everything. Oh my days, we are right back in it, keeping every single map so close. That is 6 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock right now. I feel like NOOBPANZER came alive on that last minute. They can get something similar happening. These soldiers, like Puck and Ryan, they've been such a good combo. Can they manage to get the same? It doesn't look like quite it's gonna work. That is Puck going down so weak on Ryan as well. Frags are getting traded. They're so getting locked in garage right now.
It's really hard for them to try and push this back in. They have only one opportunity, but now with Gazzy falling, they're just shoved back in this ramp room, unable to go forwards. Now Warp with a good rocket onto that soldier. Doesn't quite die. I do not know how he did not create it, but Lucas smells blood in the waters, and he is walking forward. I don't know if NOOBPANZER can actually hold on to the second. They're sitting right around the corner, but a fully buffed Lucas is choosing instead to spam across the roof, and we are going to be slowing down a little bit. It's 100% for both teams. SKEDDA looking to break this second hold from NOOBPANZER, who sit back and wait for their opponents. Joe getting a bit aggressive here, and it's just a soldier in through Zed. You cannot go forwards like that.
No, they do get traded out for medics, but I'll be honest, you know, losing a scout for a demo, I would be perfectly happy with that in this situation. I wouldn't be complaining whatsoever. The only saving grace is just the way that this second point is constructed. Soldiers are very, very powerful. Ryan's dropped down directly onto the medic. That Uber does get forced all the way towards Lunchbox. Jordy's going to be trying to move forward, get some kind of force towards Pickles, but you can see NOOBPANZER, they're backing all the way up. They do not want to get locked towards these shutters. Wait for this Uber to fade, and then they can walk all the way forward. Warp, he's on the back lines. He's going in one rocket. He does force out the Uber. He's all the way behind, but Lucas has gone down. They're just walking forward.
They're coming in. There's a soldier bomb from Jakeowaty again. And his pig will shut down. Now this fight goes super messy. Warp still in behind. 6 HP. 2 players sitting up on top. We're trading backwards and forwards. No one is the victor in this situation. As everyone traded backwards and forwards, Joe still just on the point. Menex is in. He fancies himself a bit of a 1v1. It has to be a 2v1. And that's not one that he wins.
No, it is not. Now, with all of that, as the dust settles, this is a 60% advantage in the hands of Mac. This is a crucial little moment here. We do have a defensive engineer and sniper in the hands of NOOBPANZER, so you can see what they're doing. They're going to be very much playing towards last. We do need SKEDDA to cap that second point. That is close. Those key shots just maybe that could have kept things just a little bit easier for them, but now this will be this Uber coming in very, very shortly. We have seen NOOBPANZER with some strong defenses before. Here we go, Lucas jumping all the way in.
It's Uber coming in, is Sejugan taken down straight away. Now Lucas hovering in the air, shut up by the heavy, who is not falling quite yet, but it's so much damage. Cleaned up by the scouts. Af feasts on the blue side. No one can hold on. SKEDDA, they take us to 3-2. 4 minutes. All we have left here.
Oh my God, every single map, every single point, every single push right now. It's so back and forth, but yeah. The second we get some momentum inside of NOOBPANZER, SKEDDA comes right back into it. This is, oh my days, this is a scary little one. That is 2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the map timer this time. So this is all or nothing for the side of NOOBPANZER. If they want to even get this to a golden cap, they really, really need to get this mid.
Into middle, it's a super early bomb here from the Red Soldiers, looking to repeat their success. Landing in on the high ground, it should be an early kill onto Jakeowaty, maybe onto Warped as well, as Ryan takes the 1v1 and comes out on top. He's very low though, but it is a successful middle point taken by NOOBPANZER. They do not find any more of an advantage. It is both soldiers down for both teams with 80% Uber as well. This plays into the hands of SKEDDA. 2 minutes. All they need to do is hold on for just 2 minutes. NOOBPANZER, you do not have time. You need some way to break this hold if you want to take this map.
Yeah, absolutely. They are at least the team attacking from mid. It is a lot easier to try and get someone in towards second, generally speaking, just because of how the height differential works on mid. And you can see Puck going all the way towards the right-hand side. He will have been spotted, but oh, he actually just hits his head. Uber's getting used. It's going to be a trade just about, but it's so much better for SKEDDA. Voxy's trying to get this lasso frag. What a great little flash there for Mac. And Piggles is getting caught. Somehow NOOBPANZER is finding 1, 2, 3, 4 frags.
It's so many falling for the side of SKEDDA. They collapse in the fight. NOOBPANZER. Guns come out all swinging. The tank is here. But it's not on the side you would expect. Instead, they want to take us all the way. Minutes left on the clock. He cannot hold on his own. Neither can Lucas. It crumbles at the seams. A minute left. You have to be so fast if you want to take this now.
Absolutely wild, incredible. I had no idea how NOOBPANZER just managed it. I genuinely do not. They found every single little opportunity to get that tiny bit more damage, a tiny bit more focus fire. Absolutely wild, and like you said, there are 50 seconds left on the clock, and there's one way to play fast, and that is a Kritzkrieg in the hands of Mac now. They can't wait for it, you know? They can't wait to use it. If they get an opportunity to, amazing, but they can't sit around. 35 seconds by the time we even get to mid. It's Granary, it's so difficult. You do have Lucas playing towards this height. They need to just go in.
Lucas falling early. So is Menex. However, this bomb coming across. We're trading two. Both demos falling, but it's Warp with the bomb coming in. Now you have to just keep running forward. It's 20 seconds left. I don't know if he can do this anymore. Mac gets a kill on his own, but now it's just a combo fight.
Yeah.
But the Ego coming in with some shots, sending us into a golden cap in style.
Oh my days, the seconds tick down. 2, 1, 0. And on map 3, we're going to be going to a golden cap. What a series.
So far, every single map has come down to the wire. Granary would be no different here. We have a bit more aggressive gameplay this time around. Successful round conversions coming across, leading us to a different scoreline.
like you said, after that pause, we were seeing a very, very different NOOBPANZER. It is absolutely wild what we're experiencing today, and the crowd's loving it.
Have to wait and see what the answer is on this mid-fight. We go to the golden cap for the second time in this best of 5 series, third maps. 2 golden caps.
They're not waiting around, are they? I feel like they know what's going to be happening this series. We're going all the way in, straight to mid, and no one's going aggressive just yet. Both on Medigun, no real shenanigans right now. Looks like he really wants to go for this high bomb. Once again, straight into the skybox. Just about pivoting away. The damage has been so good. They're actually jumping all the way forward. Ryan is bombing huge onto them.
The bomb is so massive. Pickles falls as well, however. It's now just a 2v2. Aff is so low. Has to back out. Has to get the health pack now. Lucas, he's on his own on mid here. Can he win the 2v1? I've seen him doing it before, but these are such long-range pipes. Affin as well manages to steal himself a pack. And we are just out for now, as it is a KritzKrieg for Pickles. Putting it all on this. Mac has spawned on an Uber charge, but in this situation, this Kritz is up so much faster. We're probably going into another mid-fight, neither team having control, but Joe has stickies up.
Yeah, this is gonna be bit of a nail-biter. I do think soldiers on the side of NOOBPANZER are taking some really good
Mac.
The damage,
he just gets spammed down.
Oh, in the air
rockets
shot
from Puck.
Oh my God!
Destruction! They don't even need the crits. They can save that for later. Just take it.
This is it. They need to keep on going. This is perfect. If you are NOOBPANZER, you couldn't have asked for a better situation. Even Menix getting out basically just doesn't matter at this point. They're going to keep on walking forward. They are where he did survive, so they're just going to be checking every single corner. Like you say, they do have the KritzKrieg. Guess who else has KritzKrieg? Mag as well. The defensive KritzKrieg theory is still coming out in full force. And honestly, they're actually getting pretty close to it. Look how long it's taking for Joe to get forward. I am a little bit terrified of how this is going to go. I think Mac's going to get this, isn't he?
This is a sentry gun up on last as well. The crit struggles so hard because obviously you don't do crit damage to sentry guns. It does such a good job of denying his crits, which is just coming in onto Joe right now. No. With the bomb instantly takes down Pickles. They don't need to pop this either on the side of Mac because everyone falls for NOOBPANZER. They cannot find it. Gazzy forced to watch in horror. They had such a good position and they're unable to commit.
No, this is the issue with the KritzKrieg. Everyone loves it, but ultimately, it isn't going to keep you alive. It only it only helps you in dealing damage, not preventing any. So in that situation, you've still got a lot of shutters to get through, a lot of players to try and get through before you can get any of those frags. And now, second is in the hands of SKEDDA. They do have this KritzKrieg. We do see a defensive Gazzy sniper. He's just going to be watching this long angle.
Can peek off. Get one of these players in. The crits will not protect them. He spots the medi beam, but Max sitting back instead is the scout in. Medic spots him out. He reads him like a book. Now, 100%. Pickles still does not have, but he's retreating back onto second.
But when
there is an opportunity here, but it's a slow one. Look at them. They're wrapping around. They want to meet them now. This crits is ineffective.
No, that is Uber being used. They can be forcing all these players back. There's a lot of damage. Mac went down to about 30 HP just then. Ryan actually does lose his life to the rockets from Puck. This is still players getting traded, though. This is... Okay, the situation might calm down.
A little bit. It's one down for either side. No scouts on this side. Means that NOOBPANZER fancying themselves. Bit of a push out. Some kind of angle maybe for Puck to try and go in. He cannot find it, so we back off to second. Mac, KritzKrieg advantage here. Yeah. You have to look at this team, and you know who it's going on to.
Yeah.
You have to understand where this crits is going to come from.
Here we go, 95%. They're already moving towards this little window position, but the thing is, NOOBPANZER, they don't want to give them any opportunity. They're already playing so far back inside and around this corner as well. Gazzy looks like he was hiding, but it isn't going to be enough, and now Uber is in the hands of Pickles and NOOBPANZER playing very close around this point. Now, this is a little bit of a decision for the side of SKEDDA. Most likely, I would imagine they will use this KritzKrieg to try and force the Uber. This is nice work from Geordie, getting a lot of damage here, but nothing too much will happen just yet.
This is such a dangerous situation for SKEDDA. They don't have an Uber to counter the one of the opponent. from NOOBPANZER, which means at any point, honestly, NOOBPANZER could just try and take the trade. Instead, Ryan, up a bit on the height, spot's warped. Nice 69 damage there. I think that should be it. Now called out. He's just going to sit there. Now he's going to drop down.
Oh,
no one spots him. He's
directly behind.
He gets the drop. You know he's there. And you do not look for him. Once again on his debut, coming up huge, warped. Is going to pay for it with his life. It's 3 falling.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge for the side of NOOBPANZER. This mid is guaranteed for them at this point. It is effectively impossible for them to not get it, and they've got themselves an uber advantage, so still things looking good. They can almost manage to capture this, and they're going to immediately be thinking about second. We do see the aft defensive sniper towards the spawn, watching these long little angles, but won't come into effect just yet. 75%, all buffing up on the side of NOOBPANZER. This is an opportunity for momentum. We have about 4 minutes or so, and we've got warped with one of his patented funny little spots.
It is going in, and he's straight in onto Pickles, getting the force. Gazzy gets shot down in the meantime, but I don't think it matters. What matters here is that force comes out, and the Uber is useless. Yeah. Such a play from Warped. Yeah. I didn't even know you could stand there.
I believe that may have been some kind of warbug type situation, so the kind of thing where nothing's safe in the world of 2024. You need to know every single little corner. Gazzy, he's going to be up on the spy now. Like this is
such a long-term play. 3.5 minutes left on this golden cap here. Looking to try and get in onto Mac. He has found his way forwards quite rapidly, considering the fact that he is a spy, is invisible, has to operate under the cover of stealth. Does get the opportunity in onto Lucas now with the pistol out, does not find any more. Mac gets the melee kill for the
what?
Ryan! Again! The soldier wants to get in from Warp, but he does not find it. No one healthy for SKEDDA at all. It's another advantage falling Ryan again.
This is absolutely huge. Ryan is playing out of his mind. Everyone knows that Granary is a huge map for soldiers, but he is playing truly, truly exceptionally. And that late frag onto Jakeowaty. Gazzy is feeling it. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for NOOBPANZER. Second is going to be theirs. They have this uber advantage. They're absolutely going to be looking towards last. They should be able to secure this.
So hard now for SKEDDA. Relying on the sniper from AF, it is up, and it is a prayer with this AWP to try and find some kind of a kill. You can see Joe, he knows exactly where he wants to go with this Uber charge. As it is coming in, the bomb comes forwards from the demo man. Sentry not being found. Finally taken down now as the Uber fades as a soldier on high ground. Early kill though onto Puck. The health bars are not quite there as the point is capped out quite far. Warped down as well. Only Lucas standing onto his point. He cannot hold on. The heavy is coming out. Trying desperately is Menex. It's just 3 players alive. And NOOBPANZER, they do not convert. SKEDDA, hold on.
You are kidding me. That is insane. That is actually insane. Not only are they going to hold, but they should just about be able to get control of second now. And look, Jakeowaty once more.
They have full advantage here as well. Pickles
oh
is 70%,
God.
but they haven't had to push with Gazzy is up on the spine. And he sees them pushing exactly. He knows exactly where they're going to go, but I think he's going to go for a back out. But instead, he ends up just running into Menex. The taunt comes out. Yeah. The Ubers have now equalized.
This
Soldier
is
bombs.
Huge.
Coming forwards, it's 1 minute 30. They are not letting us breathe anymore. Call the first 2 maps boring if you like, but this time around, we're getting engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 minute 20. Like you say, the Ubers are equal. This is such a difficult position for both teams. It's like, I mean, NOOBPANZER technically are in a situation where that push is a little bit easier, but really, really not. Soldiers both get being sent into the skybox. Warp just about surviving. Ryan will not be as lucky. And NOOBPANZER, they want to move towards this left-hand side. Maybe trade an Uber, maybe go for some kind of force. Yep. There we go. Ubers will get traded. Puck is just trying to back out a little bit. They need to keep themselves alive. They know the Uber's just that little bit better for SKEDDA, but it's not enough to really chase with. Now, 6 players on each side. 45 seconds left on the clock. This is one of those moments where you need something explosive.
When this timer runs out, we will be going to a golden mid. Puck does not want to see it. Instead, bombs in. It's a lot of damage, but on the wrong side. It is just SKEDDA cleaning up house. NOOBPANZER, they commit so many. It is Gazzy in on his own, but he meat shots the wrong guy. Pickles, he's going for the taunt kill. Does not find it. Complete wipe. SKEDDA, 20 seconds. Total wipe. but I don't think they have the time.
I don't think so. They're still going to do everything they can. Mac is just moving forward a little bit. 10 seconds left on the clock. And as it counts down to 0, oh my God, that is a golden mid. Good. I can't believe it's happening. I cannot believe it, genuinely.
We see these so few times.
Yeah.
So very rarely, these needed to decide the differences between these two teams. But the golden mid, in case you aren't aware, because you don't see these very often, very simple concept. One mid fight. Whoever captures the point wins the map. This is going to end in a single flash.
Oh my God, that's a double crit streak, baby, on a golden mid. You gotta love it.
Going on to middle, it is a low Joe who has to walk onto that pack as Lucas, pressuring him down as he has been all map long. So difficult to deal with, but you can see how passive these teams are playing, both wanting to build up their creeps. It's an early bomb coming across from Ryan and Hugo, but just trying to take some space. Now Jordy bombing in. It's just in onto Mac is Gazzy. He finds the opening, and now Warp falls as well. 4 players left alive from SKEDDA. They have no heals, no high ground to use. Ryan is in behind. They have to take this on their own. The crits is in onto Voxy, finding 2, maybe even a third. The pistol comes out.
It's all
Menex is 30 HP, but NOOBPANZER make it 2-1, and they take us the map point.
What a map. What a map. What a series so far. What a huge, huge win. And I feel like there's one person who's very, very happy right now, and that is Piggles. He is feeling himself. This is showing a bit of love as well to some of our team. You gotta love it. I mean, it is our job to separate them. That is exactly what's gonna happen, even if it has to come down to another golden mid. In one way or another, at the end of this map, one team will be victorious. And if that is SKEDDA, we will find ourselves going to the 5th map of this best of 5, which is Bagel of all things. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if we go there, a COF map of all things to round things out, that would be absolutely insane. But ultimately, right now, I think both teams, they're going to be thinking about the here and now.
If you want to take it to Bagel, you have to win on Metalworks first. This is map number 4. Dortmund, take a look around you. This is our stage, our time. We waited months for this. You're here seeing your friends. We're celebrating our game. I ask of you this one more time. Let me hear you.
Here we go, map 4, baby, the first frag. Absolutely annihilating Lucas. This is looking good. Warp, the follow-up though, 3 versus 3. His rocket's not quite connecting, but he survives. Foxy and Puck combining together. It's all on Menex in a 1 versus 2. Surely not the long-range spam. The 1 versus 1, but Puck clutches it out. First mid goes to the hands of NOOBPANZER, and there's the taunt.
Puck clutching up in the end, but that is once again a close mid-fight. No one realistically coming out on top. I think we might have another one just in the cards. Jordy is already forwards. We're right back where we started. Now NOOBPANZER regrouping, coming into house, waiting for their spawners. It was most of SKEDDA falling earlier, which means they're already in position onto mid, and NOOBPANZER end up ultimately having to back out onto second. Even Ubers for both sides. Jordy taking control of house.
Absolutely incredible just how important it is to know these spawners and even the spawn positions. Just for such a situation like that, you can see Huck, despite winning the mid-fight, actually, their spawns, they were not enough. SKEDDA was able to spawn that little bit earlier, regain control, and now they're kind of in the driver's seat here. They will be getting the Uber in just about a second, so like you say, Ubers will be equal on both sides, but they're already moving towards this valley position. You can see Lucas just peeking, prodding, trying to get a little bit of info, but Jordy ultimately is a full 300, jumping all the way in. Actually, just going to be running away just a little bit. Trying to coordinate some spam. The force comes out from Puck, though. Manages to get all the way in towards Mac, and this is such a good situation for NOOBPANZER. They're backing all the way up. Players do get traded every which way, but it doesn't matter too much. App should surely be losing that life, just about escaping. Jordy's going on the backline zone.
Jordy in from behind. He just finds 1 kill. Unfortunately, though, unable to connect the rockets. They've now warped. Going it down, a 3 up on the mid for the side of SKEDDA. NOOBPANZER, advantageous position disadvantageous Uber ad, but it does not matter for them. Trying to go in anyway, through a house maybe, but it is a Lucas in forwards, is Joe as well. Decent pipe, shoots down Lucas for now, but that is a decent rocket there from Jordy. Cannot land on the health pack, and this is a kill. Mac bouncing to the corner and taken down from the stickies from Joe. You cannot hold on anymore. Lucas has to walk out. He finds one pipe, but not a second. And NOOBPANZER retake control of middle.
No, this is absolutely huge. We do now have Menex was hiding for just a second, but I believe the team may have called that back and just said, look, we know you always want to go for the bigger play, but sometimes you do just need a backup. You need to stay alive with your team, because ultimately they're going to be putting just a few of their defensive hopes on this KritzKast once again. App is up on the engineer, should delay this Uber just a little bit, but it ticks over to 100% in the hands of Piggles. They're going to be looking to move very, very quickly. NOOBPANZER really, really wanting to cement this first round on the board, and possibly the first round of what they need to win this entire series. The double donks come in. They're actually delaying things so well. It's Box that goes down first. They know this Uber's now fading any second. Wolf in such a good position. Trading out these players on the side of NOOBPANZER are falling and falling and falling. They're gone. They're gone.
50 HP is all that leaves Pickles alive. He manages to escape, but now Mac, this is not an Uber advantage. You can't use it in the same way. You have to take space. These stickies, so much more dangerous. But now, NOOBPANZER are all the way back on middle, 100% KritzKast. They must know that this is up.
Yeah.
You can see how far back they're sitting. It's all eyes on one man once again, but the early spam makes it so much harder for the Kritz to come out. You can see Lucas charging this up. This is a long Hail Mary, pinned right.
Oh my God!
And he finds them both!
That is absolutely huge. That one stick was all they need, but Mac does lose his own life. That is so disappointing on the side of SKEDDA. They will gain control of mid, but almost, you've got to say, is that a little bit of a saving grace, just being able to get off the KritzKast. Yeah, it's not perfect, but maybe not just the end of the road. The heals will spawn considerably quicker on the side of NOOBPANZER. They could potentially be looking to go all the way towards mid. You can see Max just only come up, but he will have these forward spawns. I do believe they will just about get together in time, but what a huge play from Lucas.
Lucas coming up so huge. They're exactly the two targets he needed to find. One sticky was more than enough. We've seen a bunch of failed crit stickies from him throughout the tournament, but now at the very end, he comes up exactly when you need him to. Still, it is an advantage here for Piggles. 85%. You can see Gazzy trying to point out where they are. Sitting far back is SKEDDA, unwilling to go forward. Early damage onto Puck means that he is going to have to drop down and take the health pack, but the spam in onto houses coming forwards now. NOOBPANZER through onto the middle.
Yeah, they're trying to jump all the way forward, trying to force a lot of these players actually back. There's actually really, really good damage towards SKEDDA. Actually kind of crazy. They all managed to survive there, but they did what they achieved to do. They did not maintain control of the point, but ultimately they bought enough time to get their own Uber now. So NOOBPANZER will be looking towards this lobby position, but ultimately Mac has his own Uber. They should be having to play together. We are looking for any kind of bombs here. Ryan does go for it. Not quite making it. Jordy just getting a quick little arrow, looking towards Valley. Is there some kind of opportunity he can spot? Obviously, you can see these long sight lines. He's absolutely going to be seen, but is that actually going to stop him? He goes for a deep bomb all the way forward, gets one in. Ooh, just about not connecting. Piggles was just too far away.
Unable to find those rockets. You can see they were aimed at the correct place, but gets taken down too quick. And now it's a soldier pick for NOOBPANZER to work with. 100% for both sides. They're going to try to see if they can send in Puck here. Some kind of distraction mission. Open the doors a little bit. Try to get this force out. He's in behind, but he's weak. He has to come forwards now. Once again, the rebomb in onto Mac, finds one rocket and finds the force now. It's a bunch of kills coming over. Another one onto Gazzy, but we're trading here. 3 for an Uber charge and a soldier.
That is, it's a little bit scary. If you're NOOBPANZER, technically getting that Uber force is a victory for them there. Losing a little bit of control over mid is not the end of the world. Their spawners will be coming in and they will get these forward spawns so they can go for this refight really, really soon. If you are SKEDDA right now, the biggest thing I want is to force them through this choke point as they come into mid. That would be the absolute dream. If they can afford to lose, you know, maybe no players, maybe just one, this would also be really, really good from their POV, but they have to get the force.
Watching now are SKEDDA finding some kind of angle. It is a soldier in behind, and Jordy is just bumming up onto these crates. See if he can get the force onto Piggles, and the Uber does come out now. SKEDDA, they need to back off. They cannot fight this. A rocket from Ryan is crucial. Onto Menix as well, now 2 down. But Mac, he saves the supercharge. He has now big advantage. But they have to hold on to second. Missing 2 key pieces here.
Yeah, this is a little bit difficult until these spawners come in. You can see they do have 1 soldier in the form of Jordy playing very close, but NOOBPANZER's not getting aggressive at all. This is actually, I will say, kind of nice of NOOBPANZER not looking to go commit while these 2 players were down. I think they didn't really want to take the risk. They know if they build really hard, they can get this Uber. But now SKEDDA, they still do have enough of an advantage. They have taken down Ryan. They are going to be trying to go in those stickies. Joe can just see the future or something. That was perfect.
Jordy now falling. This is a soldier down and sticks at the point.
Okay, boys, we need to check our corners. And no, they want to come back in. You can see Mac going solo down to 9 HP. Both Ubers are getting used. Mac is still going to be really, really weak at the end of this. It's going to be all about the post-Uber positioning. And it's looking so much better for the side of NOOBPANZER. That will be Menix losing his life. The rest of SKEDDA is just backing up and up and up. And there is no reason for NOOBPANZER to stop right now. They're going to look to keep going all the way through Valley. Puck, you can see, buffed up, ready to move towards point, trying to just cause some kind of distraction, anything for them to try and get some of their players in. It is just right now SKEDDA trying to hold off every bit of aggression that NOOBPANZER is giving their way. And now the commit is coming forward all the way towards point. He's dealing so much damage. He looks like he might just be able to secure a frag alongside Foxy.
Oh, Mac! No. 9 HP shut down by Gazzy, who finds the shot. Not the second, however, it's Warped bombing in. Wants the return kill to Piggles, but he can't find it. Instead, it is Menix who wants to go in. Joe cannot find the pipes, but he buys time for Piggles to run out. Massive advantage.
This is huge. Managing to keep control of second point there in what was potentially a disastrous situation is absolutely enormous for the side of SKEDDA. Now, they do have a little bit of a buffer just before this Uber comes in. Jordy not quite connecting that shot. Has ultimately been spotted out now. Piggles and the rest of the team look like they're moving towards house. Uber's going to get used, jumping all the way in. No one near. No one can get caught here. This Uber's effectively been used to take second point, and that is it now. SKEDDA, they're towards last. They're 70%. They can look for a repush here. All I'm going to say, Juan, is that 10 minutes in, we are looking neck and neck. I feel like I've seen this before.
It's a story of all 4 maps so far. Absolutely nothing separates these 2 teams. A big advantage at the moment for Mac, but it's so hard to push out here of Metalworks last. You have 50 to work with here, but so many corners to check. You have to be so careful because Ryan on the backside can come in. Pipes from Joe can come in. He's in on his own. What? You didn't check your flanks. You didn't think he'd win the 1v2. You didn't think he'd have the point. But this guy means business.
NOOBPANZER, they are ecstatic. You can see them right now. They can see that trophy as well. It is in the corner of their eye every moment that they're playing here. And is this the first step that they need towards taking it home?
Looking to take this in 4. They do not want to go to Bagel. And Ryan, so much impact. I feel like I have to stress this again. This is his first LAN. Yeah. He's never done this before, let alone play on a stage. And he's so effective in these bombs. On middle once again. So much pressure here onto Lucas, has to play so far back. It is normally the story of Lucas being the one to provide all the pressure. This time around, bombs. Maybe ringing a bit hollow here as Ryan on his own cannot fight the damage. Health bars are low. Piggles wants to retreat, surfs it beautifully outwards now as Jordy cleaned up on neither side, really taking much of a decisive victory. Is 1 cap for SKEDDA, but that mid-fight is a mess that no one deserves to win.
Yeah, absolutely. We are getting a little bit messy now, but ultimately, with SKEDDA losing that first round, they're going to be happy to get this mid. They are once again in the driver's seat. Literally everything they want right now is to find some way of equalizing, both from a sense of just, physically equalizing the points, but also the mental game. You need to understand that with best of 5s, it is not just individual map and individual moments. It is about the war of attrition, the mental game of knowing that even 4 maps in after golden caps and golden mids, they can still do this. And I need SKEDDA to truly believe that they can.
Puck bombing in. decides the better of it, does not want to commit all of the way. Does not spot the medic, but the information is enough for now. This spam onto Ali is immense. So difficult to get a player in, and you know what SKEDDA wants to do. They want to open the door for some kind of soldier sack. It is a high bomb here from Jordy, but he has to recommit. Just bounce up once again. Doesn't quite hit the rocket onto the soldier, but he does fall low. Now Af down as well, but is allowing so much space for Lucas to come in. Ooh. Jordy trades onto Joe, but at the same time in the back lines, Warped loses the 1v1 to Puck. Now, NOOBPANZER, they want to hold on to the point and they pop the Uber to do just that. It is flashed on the side of Mac, and this means that the solo lasts forever. Right into his hands. Do they walk? One, naked two, does not come through. Instead, they hold on.
No. How? Mac does eventually lose his life, but actually, this should have been way, way worse. App is just about getting this frag. This is somehow nowhere near as bad as I thought for the side of SKEDDA. They're going to keep on trying to move forward. You can see App is hungry. The rest of NOOBPANZER, they're playing all the way back towards this shutter. They know it's all about the Uber game now. I don't know how Puck didn't find more there. I really thought that was SKEDDA just done for.
So unfortunate for Puck. The positioning is insane. The bait into him as well was so good. He found the one frag, and he did enough to Mac for a scout to clean him up as well. So, as a consolation prize, they find themselves with a huge Uber advantage here, trying to push in onto middle. It is 90% ready for Pickles, but it is such a long distance to cover here. So much time. SKEDDA just need to hold on as the Uber comes in onto Joe. He positions himself nicely, but the Stickies find nothing. And unfortunately, this Uber is just ineffective.
No, absolutely not. They do manage. Once again, we're seeing a situation where the Uber is used to wrestle control of the midpoint, but that is as much as they get. No frags. 90% now in the hands of Mac. Their dream on the side of SKEDDA would be to try and force these players back and regain control of mid for free. We do see Soldier jumping all the way in. Ryan does lose his life. Mac does take a little bit of damage there, but ultimately they're keeping themselves alive. They're keeping themselves healthy right now. This is all important. They should be looking to keep moving forward to second right now.
They still have this advantage to work with, but they have to be decisive here. You cannot hold on for too long, because Pickles will just find an Uber charge of his own, 84%. As he sits back in lobby, Jordy goes in, but he takes a rocket to the face now. Puck re-aggressing. No space is taken by SKEDDA as they come in, but now it's an even Uber situation. And you cannot push this anymore, you're one down.
No, absolutely not. That was very, very well held by NOOBPANZER. It felt like SKEDDA didn't quite know how they wanted to engage it. It's so difficult to just get an Uber because you can't just run at them. They're so far away and they can see you from so far away. It's very, very difficult to catch them unawares. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that SKEDDA found that so difficult, but ultimately it didn't come through for them. So, Ubers are equal now, and it is SKEDDA playing towards Ali. They want to try and do something again. Warp does lose his life. We do see Jordy actually in a good little position. Puck has already gone down. What a nice little rocket. That's Gazi losing a 1v1 with Menix. This is a really, really good opportunity. You can see how far back NOOBPANZER are playing. I think they might just have to concede this point and go straight to last.
Heroics there from Warp coming in, finding those two rockets, and that's 2 kills now. They take second for free. You have to watch the track.
Christ.
They are clear.
No
damage is done.
You know, maybe that's like a little hint of what's going on, you know?
The crowd, they rally in support of SKEDDA now. They want to see Bagel. Even Ubers for both sides. Gazi is up on the Pyro. Thinks better of it for now. Just going back onto the Spy, checking for the off classes. Will spot the sniper of Menix. Now, all of the weight of the world is on his shoulders. He needs to find this kill. Counter sniper from Gazi comes out. But Menix, he just has to peek the shutters. It takes 1 click to eliminate this round lead here for NOOBPANZER as he edges forward. The sniper is not watching him. He does spot the demo. The Stickies are out. He walks across, but Gazi with the counter headshot onto Warped.
Yeah, you can see right there, Warp was holding the door open there for Menix, so unfortunately was a little bit of a casualty there, but don't know how much of a difference it's really going to make. Warp will be up in just a few short seconds, and it's so difficult to get out here. I think it will just be a case of resetting back to the same situation. Menix once again looking towards this shutter. a little bit towards the right-hand side. See what kind of angles you can get. With how medics play forward on this map, it is very, very difficult to find a lucky shot of the medic themselves. Usually you would expect that from these long angles, maybe, you know, if you're lucky, you can get a demo, maybe a soldier, maybe just something to open up a little bit to possibly send a soldier in as well.
Puck sitting close, making sure no funny business happens. He knows he can easily pounce with the sniper now. They're looking at each other. Menix this time comes out on top. What do you do with this? Tries to beat the same angle, but just finds the demo spam. Lucas wants to fight as well, as we are coming in, trying to use the space. Not very effectively at the moment. Are getting spammed a lot, but as a soldier stacking in onto Peg.
Oh my God!
You cannot hold on. Now, 3 down. You trade a lot for this. Massive advantage. Sniper's still up. You cannot hold on to second. Should they want to push out? But NOOBPANZER, they hold their ground.
They don't.
And now Mac, 100%. This is their ticket to Bagel.
This is it. This is the moment right here, right now. And like you said, NOOBPANZER, they had no interest in pushing. What they do have an interest in is getting this Kritzkrieg on the defense and building it up as quickly as possible. But it's going to be nowhere near. Right now, this is the actual moment of the game right now for SKEDDA. They can get themselves back into it, and it all comes from Lucas from this left-hand side. They do have loose cannons to deal with once again, and it is such a good deny. The gun on the floor will get taken down very, very late. They have soldiers basically on top of them. Ryan does lose his life. There's a pirate to deal with as well. They need to play pretty calm, but there's so little health on the side of SKEDDA. They can't do this, surely not.
The Gazi Pyro is so effective at denying everything they want to do. They come in, and it's just too much denial of both space and projectile damage. As Gazi holds on to that point, keeping them in control. They have a KritzKast here, but they're sitting on last with it.
But it's a KritzKast. It's a KritzKast, and right now, all that's going to happen if they sit on last is that SKEDDA's going to build up their own Uber, and everyone knows, generally speaking,
but do
Uber
they know?
versus Kritz.
Did they get close enough to spot the KritzKrieg? We'll have to wait.
Surely.
And see if SKEDDA know that they have this advantage. The sentry gun still being built, and they're posturing up into lobby, looking to go again. You cannot survive against immortal players. You have to help out the onslaught. Live it for now. Soldier up in the airs, and they come forward onto the medic. It is just 2 falling. Once again, the sack comes in, and now surely they must know. That was a double sack. Surely they saw those crits.
They must know. It sounds like such a tiny thing just to see those slightly different particle effects on the medigun. You'll see some tiny little crackles on the KritzKrieg as opposed to the regular medigun. That is so, so crucial. They have to know that now because there's 54 seconds on the round timer. The time to push is right now, and it's with a heavy.
I like this a lot. Save it for the end game. There is a sentry gun sitting underneath the bridge that you have to deal with a bit awkwardly. But this Uber will be completely effective. You have to hold this for the post-Uber as we are going in right now. Sentry gun, under the point, getting shot out. This heavy saved as a final surprise here. The pyro, it just comes out. The laser beams. My heavy is greater than yours. You cannot deal with it. Geordie unhealthy. Mac has fallen. The KritzKrieg is a success. You hold on to it for oh so long. And now this heavy is coming out. Not getting the kill onto Joe, and now 10 seconds. We might just be looking at a reset. I think we're going back to middle here.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely wild there, that KritzKrieg. Like we've seen the Kritz heavy, it can do absolutely crazy things. Here we go. Still 1-0 to the side of NOOBPANZER. They are still in a winning position. It's only by a tiny bit, but it is enough. If they can secure this map, they will secure this series, but there's still 9 long minutes left in this game, and SKEDDA, they have every opportunity, they have every chance to get themselves back in.
It starts with this mid-fight. They need to find some kind of success. This time around, Joe fumbles the round. Unfortunately, it's Ryan falling early as well. A counter kill onto Warp. It's not the end of the world, but there's very little position on this mid-fight. There's scouts fall in the 1v1. One puck wants to bomb in, wants to find some kind of remorse. But Gazi falling too. This is 3 down, and it is a disastrous mid here for NOOBPANZER. Faltering at the finish line. You cannot be allowed to do this. Look at how much ground they take.
Here we go, right back here again, and you think that rollout, just a little misstep does it really make that much of a difference? But when these games are so finely tuned, that information, that early damage is absolutely crucial. This time, SKEDDA, they want to go in. Jordy getting blasted all the way into the side. No force is going to come up here.
This is a spy here for Puck as well. We're trading across. It's 1 for 1. Jordy and Ryan both traded. Now Puck is still up on this spy. Spots out the medic. This scout's unaware as we try to decloak eventually. Medic running forward. This is a spy play. The scouts maybe getting a bit paranoid here. The sentry gun is sniped down by Lucas, and now once again Puck waking. He uncloaks and unfortunately just taken down. That's a kill in the log for Mac. And now with health, no demo man as well. It is just coming across here. That soldier falls, and I think we deny it for now. With Puck falling on that spy.
Yeah. Okay. Just a moment. Jordy jumping deep, trying to get towards this demo of all players. Not quite able to get all that damage with the rest of these players so far back. The medic playing behind the heavy. Didn't stand a great deal of a chance there, but it's all good. The counter frag onto Ryan is going to keep things pretty equal right now. It does make you wonder. No chance of any off passes on the side of SKEDDA. They seem to be pretty happy the way that they are. I think maybe they do believe that these bombs can come in. It does feel like they have some decent pressure towards this gun a lot of the time. If they can keep it down, then maybe some kind of double sack might be on the cards for them.
Looking to try and take down this gun, but it gets so much harder with the pyro up to reflect all of the projectiles. That's a pipe from Lucas, reminding Ryan who he's dealing with on the other side. As he sits imperious here in this enemy last. Around this corner, they are unable to deal with him. The sacks are coming in onto Piggles. The rockets ring true. 3 down once again. We have to try and chase this forward, but we're unable to do so. Instead, now SKEDDA regroup once more. Ginormous advantage to push with.
Okay, that is huge. While we're just waiting for these points to come in, important to say that frag on Puck, absolutely enormous. Having one less aggressive fragging player made it so much more difficult to go for that chase. With the 2 defensive L classes, which we're not going to change off, maybe if Puck had stayed alive, maybe they could have gone forward, but basically that denied entirely. And now there is a full Uber advantage staring down NOOBPANZER. We do see when Lucas go all the way in, the gun does get taken down. They're trying to move towards his left-hand side. It's so difficult. Wolf is getting all the way towards his demo. They do eventually kill him. And there we go. Voxy's gone down. There's so little health. They're getting towards point.
The health bars are so low, and it's an Uber Pyro Piggles in the nick of time. And Gazzy with 2.
Oh my God, Mac's
just
getting chased down.
Holding on, Mac. He's set ablaze. You cannot hold back because he misses never. He doesn't have a head in the game, but in real life, might be a little bit something in there.
Oh my God, Gazzy, the Pyro main. He's known for it for a reason. And he is absolutely loving it. The rest of SKEDDA not really looking to give up second right now. They can avoid it. Gazzy doing so many reflects. It's actually kind of fascinating how much damage they're doing. Oh my God.
Look at the scout. Joe. As he hit 1, does not quite find the second one immediately. It's a collapse into lobby. Everyone.
Oh my God.
Monstrous pipe.
They want to keep going.
To come in, but it's 2 down here. The health bars for NOOBPANZER. SKEDDA fancying themselves a bit of a fight, but I think they might be retreating for now. As Af trying to regroup with his medic. It's a pyro coming in once again, taking 150 damage. He falls. Now, free up. 4 seconds for the spawners of Voxy and Joe. As we just come in onto the point, it's Menex getting the force out. Mac does not have one for himself, but he will soon.
Oh my God. Oh my God, this is so clutch out of SKEDDA. They're about to have their Uber, but there's only 1 minute left on the clock. You can see them, they don't want to wait. They're going all the way in, they don't care about your gun.
It falls already now. Sticky's come across onto the point, there's nothing holding it. So much damage comes across from the bomb, but Lucas falls. Once again, it's all on this pyro. He's so low, all of them. Jordy with the bomb in, wants to find something. He can't hit the rockets. It's just a scout trying to clean up instead, and they're making it work.
They are fighting for every inch of this map and every point in this grand finals. That is huge from SKEDDA. They are coming through when they need it the most. And even though there was some absolutely heroic plays from Gazzy, it wasn't quite enough. Oh my God.
Such a collapse in lobby. SKEDDA No holds bars. They just go in. They get the trade. They play it so well. And then the final fight as well. The scouts coming up huge, cleaning up. Now we're back onto middle. It's 1-1. This could very much end in regulation time still. Early bomb into Joe. So much damage is dealt across, but Pickles falls, so does Mac in the back lines. It's a complete mess now, but just 2 scouts up, and they're not winning the 1v1. SKEDDA, they're taking the midpoint, and they're looking once more.
Look how close this is. Look how close this is. The health is so weak, and yet SKEDDA, they are inching it out bit by bit. Now, Mac has spawned. You'll never guess what he's on. He's on the crit streak again. There is 2 minutes and 10 seconds just about left on the clock. This is going to be difficult. Voxy has already started building a sentry. Second is in the hands of SKEDDA. They do have a tiny window of opportunity to maybe do something here. But it's gonna take a lot. It really is.
All eyes on the demo man now. We've seen it time and time and again, but once more, the sticky bombs from Lucas, they have to ring true. It's an initial burst of damage. This pyro, this sentry gun, there's so much work to deny everything that SKEDDA trying to work for, but it's an early trade kill in.
Oh my God!
Lucas now cannot deal with the reflex. Instead, Puck is taken down. It's 3 up and 3 alive, but just barely. NOOBPANZER again. Lucas can find 2. But if you reflect the stickies and you cannot kill the sentry, you cannot push the last point.
No, 1 minute, 15 seconds left in this game. You can see NOOBPANZER, they're not leaving last. They have no interest in leaving last. We do see once again, crit streak in the hands of Mac. They know that Pickles has his ego. They know that at any point he can just right click and ensure the lives of significant members of his team, but ultimately, there's 55 seconds. SKEDDA need to do something. Do they play off this crit? Do they try and go for the drop? Do they try and go for the force? This Pyro and Engineer, it's so hard to play against.
Lucas gets a singular shot here. The crit is charged. You know exactly who he's aiming for. Charging the sticky across the corner. He sends a hope and a prayer, and he just might not find anything. Instead, it's 1 trade kill. The Pyro does fall, but the health bars, they're not there. You only find 2, but you get the force. You get the force. You might just have time for 1 final little fight, but you must conquer your demons. It is still a Pyro up, still a sentry gun up on this last. Puck is still in your face, and he is slamming your combo.
No, is that it? That's just so much damage. It makes it so difficult
to go in. They have to just commit. The spam onto the gun is big, but the Pyro denies it so much. 5 seconds now left. There is no time on the point, and with Lucas falling, could it go any other way? We are going again to a golden cap.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't think anyone here predicted a game to go like this. And the thing is as well, all SKEDDA need is just 1 good mid into 1 good last push, and they're going to bring us onto a whole new map. Yeah, I feel like everyone here, they can feel how close this is. The energy is absolutely electric. The pressure on the shoulders of these players. Not only have they got a game like this, but they're on a stage. They have the crowd watching them. They have the crowd cheering for them. And you know what? I think it's time to cheer some more, because we're going into our golden cap.
Perhaps for the last time, Lucas rolling out to mid, trying to not make it so. The crowd firmly aligned behind 1 team as we're in onto mid. The early pressure unsuccessful onto Lucas. Instead, he responds. Early damager comes across, and now Ryan is in. What is a god if not an aim? If not an aim, now Piggles taken down as Ryan comes forward, and he collapses on them. Completely warped now. Unable to do anything else. It's just Piggles down. The only saving grace for SKEDDA. The last little thread of their tournament lives is that kill onto Piggles.
That's it, but now they found themselves in such a difficult position. They are going to be on their own last. There's no choice. They can't really go forward to second that aggressively. It looks like they do kind of want to. The spawners, maybe actually, no, they disagree with me. 1 frag here would be so good, but good God, Gazzy. tears Jakeowaty apart. No, they can't. They can't risk this. Surely they can't risk this. It's so scary.
Now, they do manage to wrest control of second here. Even Uber's means that neither team really wants to re-aggress that much. We're probably looking for a bit of a dry fight, actually, because one projectile class down means you cannot hold, but instead the stickies from Lucas. Perfectly picking off Puck, as now so many players on the low ground, so much damage dealt to Joe. One kill onto Warp, but it's another onto Mac as he falls. You don't have enough health bars anymore. SKEDDA trying to hold on, but at what cost? Piggles, 90%, trying to escape for his life. So many players hurting him out there, but he has his teammates surrounding him, and he will escape.
Just about is all that they need. You do see SKEDDA getting some cap time towards mid. Ultimately, they need to make sure not to overstay their welcome. Jordy goes for the bomb, but actually just leads away. Not going to go for that full commit right now, of course. Would have been great, but ultimately, it's not worth throwing away your life for maybe a 10% chance. So, Uber from the hands of Piggles. They look forward towards second. If they can get away without using it, that is very much a dream, but they will be using it all the way towards the shutter. It doesn't look like they're going to be locking anyone out at all. They will get warped. That is one little consolation frag there. So second will be theirs, but Uber advantage now, SKEDDA on their own last. This is still a scary situation. They have the advantage. They can push if they want to, but ultimately, it has to be a textbook clinical push if they're going to do it. And with Menix changing off the scout, it makes you feel like they are going to do exactly that.
Hanging on by a thread.
They're not.
They choose to stay back onto second. They don't want to commit onto this ad. Instead, build up, try again. Get a bigger advantage, and now I think maybe signs of maybe a bit of mental decay for the side of SKEDDA, unable, perhaps. But it is such a risk to push in there. You have to be sympathetic to their plight. Uber is not popped as Ryan does bomb in. Does not find anything either. A singular sack will spot out the sniper from Menix. But the tension now builds. 6 minutes left on this golden cap. 4 minutes on the round timer. They would have to run down. All they have to hope for is a failed push from NOOBPANZER.
It's
or a round reset.
It is a big ask right now. I feel like SKEDDA, I feel like they may well be trying to play for this round reset, but ultimately, they're not going to throw away opportunities if they happen to come along. You can see exactly what they're trying to do. They are still peeking with a sniper. Nice little headshot from Menix. That's going to be opening things up a little bit. You can see how quickly NOOBPANZER, they back all the way towards second. Menix almost looked like he wanted more. Now, you don't want to throw away a life, because again, if you're playing for the round reset, you don't want to just throw away, you know, any kind of players, even something like a sniper, which is a little bit kind of all or nothing. But there we go. Gazzy, maybe he doesn't even really care, because he's going to spawn on a sniper of his own. An aggressive sniper, which, albeit fairly difficult to get some of these angles towards a medic, is incredibly dangerous for a lot of these other classes. And there we go, Menix has spotted him. He should have noticed that, and he should be calling that to his team. So the rest of SKEDDA will be very much playing around the possibility.
Around this corner, warped, turning his back, and maybe the wrong time. Gazzy trying to inch forward here, get some kind of angle. It's a kill onto Menix, but now everyone else, you have to back off, because that is a lot of damage. Ryan does end up falling. The spam from Lucas is good enough to hold back. One kill apiece, but Gazzy re-peeking here, sees a shot.
Oh my God!
And by himself!
Is that it? Is that everything?
On his own, Mac unable to hold. NOOBPANZER, one foot in the door, the other half one there in motion. SKEDDA, tournament lives flashing before their eyes. They tried so hard through the entire lower bracket, falling early, coming back today looking so good, but it's just Gazzy with that shot. And I think it might be curtains here for SKEDDA. You have to hold on as the Uber comes in now onto Joe. Sentry gun taken down. Lucas forced to jump down to hold on to this point, but he is taken down by Puck, who bombs in. ×2 on the cap. Everyone on SKEDDA searching forwards, and they might just hold. This heavy is so healthy, but it is 2 scouts now. Menix, 60 HP, and this is a medic healing his team. There is no one up. NOOBPANZER! The tiniest margins separate these teams. Unbelievable plays from both sides. Commiserations to SKEDDA, you played it well, but that shot in the end, that's different. That's pure class.
It comes down to moments, individual moments. We've been playing for literally hours, 4 maps, golden caps everywhere, literal hours, and it comes down to individual moments. Gazzy, with that sniper rifle, does everything that they need. NOOBPANZER are your Überfest Grand Final champions.
Cheering on them now as they come around to the trophy. They're #1 online, looking to stake their claim offline as well. They got tried, they got pushed across both the upper brackets and now here as well in the finals. But it's the individual plays as well. You know for a fact, there's one team at the top, your Überfest 2024 champions, NOOBPANZER!
Gentlemen, you just won the top place at Überfest 2024 here in Dortmund. You won against all odds, beat out all the teams. And I must ask you one question. How are you all feeling?
Thirsty. Pretty good.
Amazing, man.
My voice is gone.
Yeah, great. That's pretty good.
So, considering you're playing here for the first time, we're all here for the first time, what do you think about Überfest 2024? All your experiences thus far, all the teams you have fought, and all the emotions you've experienced, how are you doing it when it comes to this?
I wasn't listening.
I can throw it to someone else.
No, honestly, it's been a great venue and a great tournament as well.